Oh, lost the stream. And welcome to Stafford Speedway. We got it live here tonight. Eastbound eSports going live here at Stafford Motor Speedway in Connecticut. I got my good friend Joe Chisholm. I'm Mike James on the Rock. We got some Newfoundlanders going to be taking on one lone American here tonight, Joe.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, Mike. Love watching these guys rip around, especially when it's like -10 outside the Racetime Radio studio right now. So, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing some cars ripping around, especially my pals out in Newfoundland.
We're going to see some heat races to get things going here tonight. Noah Healy is going to be taking this one, and Mitchell Hutchins, as well as Nicholas Codner. And look at that, there is Ryan Libby, the lone United States veteran from NEPS Racing, going to be here. Also, Ryan Walsh being back here in eSports once again. Nice to see him back here in the 19. The 99, Brandon Campbell, half Newfoundlander, has some families from the Southern Shore, coming all the way from New Brunswick. And also out there, Robbie Cable to get this heat race going. 10 on the board, Joe. It's going to be all Noah Healy to get this going.
Well, was Noah Healy for a little while there. Got himself tied up just by a crack there as the yellow flag will fly. And I'm sure Paul Showtime Strickland will have us a replay.
Didn't even get a chance to open up my first beer of the evening before we got the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. How we doing tonight, folks? Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. Joe, how we doing?
Doing fantastic. Look at this. You get that magic thing happening, where you can just rewind it and away we go.
Live TV, man, it works great when it works. There you can see the contact between the 54 and the 84. They do get it straightened back out, but there you can see the Safe Light Auto Repair number 46. It's Ryan Libby from the New England, Pennsylvania iRACING group. Gets a little bit of an assistance there from the nose of another one of those super late models from the back of the pack. So a little bit of damage for these guys, but going to be able to restart here and see what they can get for the rest of the heat race.
You know, come to see that, Paul, I would have to kind of say that it looked like the 84. I don't know, maybe he had a little malfunction there and slid down in front of the 54, but I guess stranger things have happened. Definite contact and a yellow flag to get things started. Do caution flags count, by the way? We're down to 7 to go, or is that going to reset?
Nope, looks like
cautions.
Yeah, we are counting cautions here tonight. A little bit different from the last show we had, but counting caution laps here tonight, and two big super main events here of the evening. So looking forward to that for sure.
Absolutely. Mike, are you ready now?
I'm getting there, bro, man. It's been a rough Christmas, hot water tank going and everything else. So, but we're racing here tonight. You're into some huge renovations up there in Ontario. Some big news coming out of Racetime Radio. But we're back green flag racing, and it's Brandon Campbell out front. Little touch off on the 73 of Dave Horton as they battle it out for position number 1. Side by side, Mitchell Hutchins, Noah Healy. Here comes Nicholas Codner, moving all the way up into that 4th spot.
See, Codner, they're ramping it just a wee bit down the front stretch wall here at Stafford Speedway. Let's see if he can keep it going. I believe he will. He's going to be a hot shoot. Codner running back in the 3rd spot. And look at that. Cable, what's going on with Brandon Cable back there in 7th spot? I kind of thought he'd be on the move and moving forward there, Mike.
Yeah, that's actually Robbie Cable, who had a monster season in hobby stocks of recent. Randy now opting to be an official in the NASCAR series here at Eastbound International, hanging up the driver's gloves for now, but like to see Randy back behind the wheel. But tonight, that is the 03 Robbie Cable here tonight.
The 99. Campbell still out front of this one. Codner up into that 2nd spot. Hutchins in the 78 car in 3rd spot, the 84 of Healy, followed by Walsh, Libby, and Cable. That's how they run with just 2 to go, Mike.
Yeah, we're looking at the 78 of Mitchell Hutchins. That's the son of Bob Hutchins out from central Newfoundland. Bob Hutchins, a legend of the dirt, and doing quite a bit of iRacing over the several years. But we are on White Silk final lap. It's going to go to the 99 of Brandon Camel as they whack that checkered flag for the 99 of Camel.
So heat race action here tonight. Of course, all leading up to the main event. We're going to be in for a good one here tonight as the checkered flag does fly. Spoke with Brandon before the races here. Oh, look at this. He's going to do a little bit of show timing.
For the Hanlon Realty 75 here tonight. This one here, we're going to see our lone soldier, Chantel Bottle, as well as Fowler. Phil Fowler, the 11, will be in this one on front row. And Bob Hutchins, we talked about him earlier on. Mitchell Hutchins was in heat race number 1, and now we're going to see the legend. Also on this one is Dave Horton, as well as Jason Goss, Mike Rideout, and Tyler O'Rourke. A couple of drag racers now coming to the oval side.
So we got 7 cars in this race. Kind of nice to see our buddy Phil Fowler up there. Hope everybody had a great Christmas and New Year's. From what I'm hearing, like 2022 is going to be an outstanding race season, as this is going to be a great race tonight. I know we're all looking forward to the beginning of the season as the pace car sort of slinks its way around this beautiful racetrack. Still daylight. Lucky guys, Mike, look at that. I wish we had a little daylight here right now. It's dark.
Smell the green grass and see those checkers flying coming this May Victoria Day weekend. Lots of activity in the Eastbound International Speedway wheelhouse. Big announcements coming down the pipe, Joe, but we are gone green flag racing. It's going to be Phil Fowler with the hammer. Chantel Pottle to the outside here on the start.
Come on, Philly. You got to get that thing going. Look at this. Phil drops down into that second slot. We got the 78 car going for a loop.
Twice in a row now here in the heat races, these Eastbound competitors throwing the caution. That is the 77. I believe that is 77 of Bob Hutchins.
Yeah, we'll take a peek here. The Kong Beer Bong instant replay. Little bit of help from the 23 car. Sends them on around. No damage, though, on either car, for the 77 or the 23. And Hutchings does a great job getting up on those binders, making sure he doesn't roll back down into traffic. So going to have to restart in the back of the pack here, but still has a little bit less than 10 laps to try and get up towards the front.
Little patriotic paint scheme there for the 77 of Bob Hutchins. So double header here tonight for the Eastbound, and then another major one for the TCM here at Stafford. There's going to be quite a few drivers vying for the big main event. A little bit after, once we complete this one here at Eastbound, big night of iRacing to kick things off for 2022. Joe, any big announcements coming down your pipe in the near future?
Ooh, got a couple of smokers coming, Mike. Some real good stuff. I got
a teaser.
About it just yet, but I'll tell you what. It's going to be good news for absolutely everybody right across the country. Going to be good news for short track racing. I can tell you that up this neck of the woods.
I know over here on the Rock, biting at the bit to get our IHRA program announced, as well as our NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Series and several other announcements that are coming down the pipe. So been a bit of a quiet Christmas, but we'll get things going here as we go back to green flag. And it is Phil Fowler leading the way here. And look at that, the 41, Jason Goss, getting it done here, trying to take that P2 away from Chantel Pottle. Looks like we've lost Joe. Clicking them off pretty quick. There is the halfway point here in the heat race number 2 as we line them up for the main event.
And as these races go on here, Mikey, you're going to see a lot of these drivers start to utilize that apron down at the bottom of the racetrack, just like they do at the real Stafford Motor Speedway. You can see there's that white line down in the bottom, and it changes up drastically as far as the banking goes. There you can see the 41 of Goss getting a little bit squirrely. Chantel Pottle getting around in that the second position, now side by side for third. But a lot of these drivers are going to start going down in the bottom of the racetrack to really start to kind of de-wedge these cars, get them around the racetrack just a little bit quicker.
And you're very familiar. This is your NASCAR home track in Connecticut. Where's this track located, Paul?
It's up in northern central Connecticut, almost in Massachusetts, and as of last year, no longer a NASCAR sanctioned track. Ooh, a little bit of wall contact there. Gets everything pointed right back in the right direction, but does the 88 of right out in that black and blue car. Still Phil Fowler up front in that number 11, though. Picking him up, putting him down, 2 laps to go, coming to the white flag here. Oh, Chantel Pottle, a little bit of assistance, getting pushed on around. Going to slide back into the 6th position, 7th position. And that's going to be a tough thing here on the final lap. Staying green, Phil Fowler just has to come around, hit the corners just right.
Fowler excited inside that number 11. Ronald McDonald House going to pick up his first checker flag of the 2022 season. He's going to take it for big pole position here for the main event for the Hanlon Realty 75. And look at that. Jason Goss in the 41 will take that P2, as well as Dave Horton, your top 3. Well, I know he puts in a lot of time. He has the virtual reality headset and put a lot of time into this iRacing to get to the level that he's at today.
Yeah, he sure does. Phil goes to the max on everything that he does. Doesn't matter what it is. You could be out there making paper airplanes. I can guarantee you Phil Fowler would work his hardest to make sure he had the fastest, best designed paper airplane. Wouldn't you think, Michael?
Oh, 100%. He's won that award, Most Sportsmanship Award, and several Most Improved Drivers over the years. It's great to see him come from the drag racing background and enter the oval. I think it was 2015, just before you landed on the rocks. So his career has really taken off over the last 5 years.
Yeah, now he started out with the Legend car, correct? And then moved his way up.
Yeah, and it was really interesting to see him down at the Orlando Speed World there one year. Tim Terry was with us. Tim has now joined us here at the little break we have.
So we have a 35 lap feature to come, and I don't know how we're going to slide the 40 in, but we'll slide it in here somewhere. So we have 35, and we're going to try to slide 40 in. We might need to make a new session at the end, but it skipped the consi, and apparently I didn't check the right box to have the 2 features tonight, so we'll figure it out on the other end.
Well, Timmy, fans, anybody that can figure it out, I guarantee it's you. You'll have a way.
We'll give it a go.
And Tim, we are inverting the qualifying here in race number 1. That's correct.
Top 7.
Top 7 now. Phil Fowler finding himself all the way back in the mid-pack, but we're going to get set here, and Ryan Walsh will get the pole here, and a little shake-up from the heat races. Dave Horton will be on the outside. Row number 2, Mitchell Hutchins will have Jason Goss. Row 3, the 54, Nick Codner will have Phil Fowler. Brandon Campbell, the 99, will have Michael Rideout to his side. And then next up, Noah Healy and Bob Hutchins in the next row. Chantel Pottle in the 5, as well as Ryan Libby, the 46 from the United States from the NEPS series, starting all the way scratch to the rear.
And it'll be followed up by Cable and O'Rourke. That's how this 14-car field will be laid out. 35 laps the distance here. And that just means that... Mike, you got a little bit of time off the top to find out what you got for a car. Then you got to go. You can't be hanging around. This ain't no 100-lap race here. You got a 35-lap dash, 10 to get it figured out, 25 to let her rip as the green flag flies. And you can see the 19 of Walsh not wasting any time at all.
No, sir, and what a jump he got there. 19 Ryan Walsh taking full control of this one. Picking up quite a bit of gap on that P2 as we look in. Mitchell Hutchins, Nicholas Codner going at it for that position. But look at this, a shake up here in lap number 2. Cars are coming into the infield. That's going to draw the first caution here for the Hanlon Realty 75. Race number 1. 35 laps on board, and we made it to lap lap number 2. That's going to bring in our good friend Paul Showtime Strickland Jr. He's back in time to showcase what happened.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see
Just a good way to heat up tires. That's all that was for the 73 car. No harm, no foul, no wreck, no none of that.
It looked like we had a bit of an internet issue with the 03 Robbie Cable and Tyler O'Rourke, but they have now made it to the show. It looks they're showing on the screen. But Ryan Walsh headed into the pits, unfortunately. That's going to put him down a couple of laps here. Robbie Cable, Tyler O'Rourke still sorting out some issues there, not showcasing into this one. Hopefully we'll see him on the next race for those viewing at home that are Tyler O'Rourke fans and Robbie Cable fans. Mitchell Hutchins will get the hammer here on this one. The 78 machine will have Nicholas Codner to the outside. Row number 2, Brandon Campbell, the 99. We'll have the Torbay native, the 41, Jason Goss. Phil Fowler, Mike Rideout will make up row number 3 to get things going here. Lap number 5, 30 left on the board, Joe. Excitement to get things going here. It's going to be a wild one, I think, here at Stafford.
Pace car did a real quick exit this time around. Look at this for a side-by-side start. Codner staying right up in there. He will drop down. Watch this, Mike. Zing, right down to the bottom he goes. Hoping to ring around that 78 car, and he don't know whether he's going to be clear, but close enough for, there we go. And Codner is clear. As you can see, Campbell, he's not real satisfied with second. I think he's going to be charging for that lead, too, here. Ooh. Right off the bat, got a little bit of action towards the back.
77's involved with that one. Not sure what happened, but we're going to have to take Paul as we were chasing the leaders. But Mitchell Hutchins jumped out in front of Nicholas Codner, and it didn't really work out for him as Codner dropped to the bottom. But we're going to go back to that replay brought to you by Kong Beer Bongs. And if you don't have one of those, Joe, you need a bong for your studio.
Make the good times better, and there you can see the contact between Fowler and Libby getting a little side-by-side, and trying to go for the same piece of real estate at the same time. Did not quite work, and Bob Hutchings getting a big piece of it as well. There you can see the damage on the front of that 77 car. So tough break for Hutchings, but we got a little bit of time before these drivers have to start worrying about where they're going to finish.
And Paul, I have to apologize to Joe because I told him that he needs to get a bong for his studio. Not saying he smokes a lot of weed, but let's just break it down. A bong. These are pretty cool little things. You can see them online. I believe it's kongbeerbong.com. It's pretty wild. They support the Vidane TV. Great party favor for your next party.
Pretty wild camera angle I just seen there. I don't know who that was that dropped down low, but it kind of looked like he was coming right through my computer.
Well, we're going to get set here again. Nicholas Codner will get the hammer here. Brandon Campbell will be to the outside. So we'll watch this restart here as the lights are off the pace car. They will be exiting here now shortly. 10 laps completed. 35 here in race number 1 with the Hanlon Realty 75. Campbell to the outside, trying to gauge when the 54 will throw the hammer here. Keep an eye on row number 2, Jason Goss to the outside with Mitchell Hutchins to the inside.
Just watch that pace car. When that pace car exits, look at this. The 54 car throttling up. Gotta, and gone. There it goes. The 99 is going to have to pretty well settle into that second spot, Mike. 25 to go. This is where it's just a Saturday night feature. You got to go. If you got it, you got, whoops, we got somebody else playing around at the back. Green stays out.
Still Green. Fowler involved with that one, so he's going to have to pick it up here. But The whole field kind of timed that one pretty decent on Codner, but lots of action right now. The 41 of Mitchell, or 41 of Jason Goss and Mitchell Hutchings going at it for that P4. Bob Hutchings in the 77, getting into a podium position here. P3. Nicholas Codner controlling this second and a half.
Well, I'm going to be keeping my eye all the way back there in ninth spot. The 84 of Healy. This kid knows how to surprise absolutely everybody, and I believe he's still got some more surprises left in the tank as we work lap 22.
Didn't get to talk a lot about our champions this year so far. We haven't had our banquet just yet, but the 84 capturing the Amanda Arsenal Realtor Bandolier Championship as they go 3 wide. It's not going to work out for them. That probably will bring out the third caution. Several cars in the infield. That's the 5 of Chantel Pottle. What a beautiful paint scheme. She does her own paint schemes as well. So if you're looking for an iRacing paint scheme, check out Pottle Paints. But we are going to bring in our good friend Paul.
One more Kong Beer Bong instant replay. You mentioned 3 wide. That was almost 4 wide between all those drivers, and coming off the turns, just a little bit too loose for the back end of that number 5 car. Gets a little bit sideways down in the grass once again, tearing it up for the landscapers. But the good thing here, no damage on that number 5. She's going to be able to keep on going in feature number 1.
I'm digging the paint scheme.
Right for everybody, Mike. If something does happen to your car, you ramp it, you wreck it, you do whatever, can you hit a reset?
You do, yes, but it does possibly put you down a lap, I believe, Paul.
It depends on how it's taken and when it's taken in the race. If there's a lot of damage and you change tires, I believe that quick reset takes just a little bit of time, but you'll have to restart at the very least at the tail end of the longest line.
With 35 laps, Paul, you know this better than anybody. You are on these all the time. Would tires make a difference, say, with 5 to go on a 35-lap race, or are you pretty well stuck with the rubber you got?
It really depends on the racing itself, just like at Stafford Speedway. You know, some of these races take a long time, a lot of caution laps just to get 35 laps in. And hey, it happens. But you know what? It's with the caution laps so far, I don't think new tires may do too much. But that's why I'm in the production trailer, not behind the wheel, as Connor gets a great restart in that 54.
You see how he checked up there and got a little bump from Bob Hutchins, but great start there from 54 of Nicholas Codner, as that really will upset the 99 of Brandon Campbell as he falls into the P3. Hutchins moves up to the P2. Gets a little tappity tap from the 99 to the back bumper saying, hello, I see what happened just then.
You gotta love Cogner's name right by the number of the 54 car. That's the first time I've seen it laid out like that on any style of race car. Yeah, really, really like it. It takes me back to the ASA days when they used to run the name of the driver on the car. Love that 54 and the name right there.
Pretty cool, as the 54 has taken quite a few of these iRacing series. Did really well on the TCM special events, even on the dirt. So a veteran driver, a young gun, but also a veteran here in eSports. Looking like he's looking for another big win here tonight. But will Bob Hutchins make a surge here and try to upset that balance here, as we see a battle teammate Jason Goss back there now taking over that P3 away from Brandon Campbell as Campbell comes fighting back.
Yeah, look at this. 15 to go. Big battles all the way through their young careers with Codner and Healy. And look at this. Healy now in the 84 car up into the 5th position. If there is another caution, you got to watch out. No, could factor into this one as the yellow flag flies.
And that's going to bring in Paul to give us a showcase on what happened. It was off the screen for us, so we did not see the caution. But it looks like Fowler may have gotten a bit of the brunt on this one with Mitchell Hutchins.
The state, and they make a little bit of contact here, bringing out caution, pardon me, here at Stafford Motor Speedway. And We'll take a look at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. There you can see gets a little bit loose there in the 78. Tries to get it corrected. Fowler goes up and bounces off the wall back down into the 78. They make contact and spin out, coming out of turn. I believe that's turn number 4. So we've seen a lot of incidents throughout the night here with drivers getting a little bit loose coming out of the corners here.
And it's our 4th caution, 12 to go here, Paul. Great showcase here at Stafford. So many drivers, first time here at Stafford this week. We were talking about we're the first race of 2022 for the Eastbound eSports Woodland. Stafford came across the desk, and we thought about you, Paul, and we said, you know what, let's go to Stafford. What a great time 2021 they had there with Tony Stewart and the SFX series.
Yeah, and it's really cool too, because whenever I hear about Eastbound, I always hear about how everybody's taken care of. The hospitality is fantastic. You get the same thing with Stafford Motor Speedway. It's a family-owned racetrack, no longer a NASCAR-sanctioned track, but you still have a blast. You go out, you can hang out in the pits, work on the cars. I've been going out there with the rent-a-race car guys for over 10-plus years now at this point. They rent out street stocks. Take a look at them here. But getting a restart once again. Codner dropping the hammer. 10 laps to go at Stafford Motor Speedway.
Really let it rip there on that restart as we look at Noah Healy. You talked about him, Joe, earlier on. He is now in position with Chantel Pottle as they're wrecking behind. They're going to take the rear quarter out from the 99, and 77's involved. Quite a few cars damaged here on the 5th caution. Paul, you're going to have to put this on the blimp view in slow-mo.
Yeah, 100%. Lots of cars involved here. Was just taking a look. That 5 car all the way up into 3rd position here. And going to be a good opportunity here. We're going to see if we can take a peek at this one in slow motion. Well, that's just a little bit too slow, but we'll let it run. We'll take a look. This is right off the restart here. We're going to switch it up. There's the contact. Initially, it looks like the 46 has to check up just a little bit. Brandon Campbell right into the back quarter panel of Libby in that 46. It shoots him on up into Goss. It looks like almost 3 wide, technically 3 wide. Brandon Campbell making it fit down there in that 99 car. Hits the apron. There you can see him using that apron, making me look like I know what I'm talking about there. And there's the contact, sending Goss around into Brandon Campbell to no avail. Gets all through that. Bob Hutchins in the 77 car. Nowhere to go, but into Brandon Campbell. And everybody kind of piles it back in from here. There you can see the 46, I believe that is, going all the way down on that apron. The 78, the other Hutchins coming in through. That's a close call right there. Wow.
That opening there in the track, there must have been some doozies in the past there at Stafford.
Oh, 100%. In iRacing and at the track. It's definitely something you want to try to avoid.
Takes me back, Joe. Do you remember that time we had a hobby stock go out through turn 2 and out in the ditch?
Oh, yeah. It's
just
horrible.
I think the best one was, that was turn 2. But in turn 1, I think it was Tippy who went out in turn 1 and returned in turn 2 through the return road of the drag strips. So,
I've seen a few cars do some crazy things out there.
6 to go here. Nicholas Codner with the start here. Look at that. Noah Healy controlling that P2. But Chantel Pottle on the bottom with Bob Hutchins. Hutchins going to take that P3 away. But Pottle coming back now, wanting to get on the podium here and 5 for a win here. Has not gotten a checker flag, but they're wrecking to the rear of the field again. This is going to keep going green here as the director has not thrown the caution. Single car into the infield. That's Ryan Walsh in the 19. Back into it here. 5 to go. Fistful of 5, Joe. Nick Codner controlling this one, but there's some doozies going on right now as the 77 rods the wall. Slide job there from Phil Fowler. Oh, they are wrecking, but we are still under green.
Yeah, look at that. Well, there we go. Now you see the yellow flag as Phil got a little out of shape there, but I'll tell you what, Mikey, it shades from lots of races we've seen at Eastbound International Speedway. Codner, Healy. How about these two? Watch this to finish this one. It's going to be off the chip.
Back to the bird's eye view on this replay here. Take us through this one, Paul.
Yeah, you can see Fowler down on the bottom. Hutchings up top, gets a little bit loose coming out of turn number 4 there. You can see Bob Hutchings up on the high side. Looks like Fowler got off the throttle just a little bit, tried to avoid the Calamity, and the Calamity found him.
Little tap to the rear quarter. Oh, poor Ronald McDonald House getting some damage here this afternoon. Not all at his fault. So we'll see what he has for us in race number 2. But this one's still not over, Joe. 3 laps to go. That's going to bring it down to 2, I believe. As lights are out on that pace car, Codner will be looking for a big jump here. He's had some pretty wild restarts here. He's tested the waters a couple different ways. Blurping the throttle here, trying to hold the field back. He's going to fire outside. Noah Healy tries to get into the bottom here. He's looking for that P2, but here comes Chantel Pottle. 2 to go here. Green-white checker, Joe. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, Codner's looking like he has got this one well in his grasp, but the 84 of Healy looking down low, Pottle up high, and is that, yeah, it is the 99. How about that? Brandon has had a good race, despite the trouble that he's had. White flag is out, Mike.
White Silksky is the 99 Rex to the infield, trying to cut across, I think. Trying something else out, but it's going to be checkers for the 54, Nicholas Codner. I don't know if that would be legal at Stafford if you actually cut through the infield. Paul could probably...
That's going to be a hard no, Mikey.
That's a hard no. You cannot cross the infield.
Do not cross go. Do not collect $200.
Not through 3 and 4, but it's all Nicholas Codner here in race number 1. What an interesting night here at Stafford. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike James and my good friend Joe Chisholm from RTR. And good friend Paul Strickland Jr. in the booth here. We got another race coming up here. It's all part of the Hanlon Realty 75 as the 54 burns it down here. Big checkered flag for the DC Auto team.
We're going to get everything lined up here for the second feature of the night here, that race number 2 on the Eastbound eSports series. But we're going to take ourselves just a little bit of a break, and we'll be back here for race number 2. Don't go anywhere. Go get a cold beer, grab a nice adult beverage. But then after that, come right back here to Vidane TV. We got lots of racing action coming up, coming at you live.
You can see how he's celebrating, folks. Your 2021 East Coast International Pro Stock Tour champion, Craig Slumwhite.
And welcome back to the Hanlon Realty 75. We've lost a couple of drivers here. 40 laps going to be on the board, Joe. We are getting set once again. Nick Codner going to take the pole here. Jason Goss, his partner in crime, will be to the outside. Campbell and Hutchins in row number 2. Chantel Pottle, Michael Rideout in row number 3. Noah Healy and Phil Fowler. Missed from the list, Ryan Libby, Dave Horton, and Brandon Marhefka.
You know, Phil Fowler won himself a heat race just earlier tonight. I kind of like his chances in this race, Mike. Although, you know, Codner was wicked fast and won the last 35-lap race. You can't count out Healy. Well, I guess you can if he's not in there. But, oh, there he is. I see him in 7th spot. You know, this is going to be a good one. I know not a lot of race cars, but I've always been a firm believer in quality over quantity.
100%. Tony Stewart took that with his series this season. I believe they only ran 11 or 13 cars in their series.
Somewhere thereabouts.
Somewhere around that number, but we are getting set to go. Looks like Jason Goss will take the bottom here. Teammate Nicholas Codner to the outside on this one. Keep an eye on this restart. Brandon Campbell biting at the bit to get going here. Green flags in the sky. We are officially off to the races here for the Hanlon Realty 75 final race here. And there is bump and rubbing going on between teammates. Connor gets shifted out, and here comes Campbell, as well as the 77 of Hutchins to the bottom. They are shaking it up here in lap number 1 already, Joe.
Yeah, they sure are, Mike. 3 wide for a moment there. Then Campbell decided, you know what? Nah, it's too early. He backed out of it. Luckily he did. Now he's up into that 2nd spot. Watch for the 99 as the 41 of Goss is going to have company.
I was going to talk about it in the heat races earlier on, but you know just as well as I know from calling many races at Eastbound, these guys like to get the gloves off in lap number 1. And we've seen it time and time again.
Well, you know, if you get it done early, you don't have to worry about later. As the caution flag flies here, I know Showtime is going to take us back in time and see how we ended up going under this yellow flag. What do you got, Polly?
Kong Beer Bong instant replay. Going to pull up a little bit of a spin ski here for the 88 Mike Rideout, and a little bit of contact as well. Doesn't look like it was entirely his fault. You'll be able to see a little bit of contact in between here. That's going to be Fowler, and I believe the 81 making some contact there. Oof. And you can see the 81 gets by okay. The 88, it looks like we're going to say something potentially maybe broke on the 88 to cause that hard right-hand turn, because we want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but big-time damage there for the 88 Rideout.
Look who's in with us, Joe. Dashing Dylan Langile has arrived. How about we jump him in on the call with us?
I'm just a fan until the big race is coming up. I'm going to watch this as a fan in the stands, okay?
No.
What?
No. Get out of here then. Get out of the box.
I'm paying phone bills.
Go to your seat and get a hot dog. Get out of the box.
Bye.
Goodbye.
As they line up side by side, Mike, 99 up front there.
Oh!
Well, he was up front.
Well, Dylan's still in the box. What did you think of that at restart, Dylan?
I've seen that happen at Riverside once or twice.
Smacking the wall on the green flag. Brandon Campbell involved with that one. But
no shocker.
We're going to get a replay on this one.
Lines of Brandon Campbell right off the restart. And you can see it starts on the outside. It looked good. Got through. Looks like he might have missed a gear shift there. Gets up into the wall and then into Codner in the 77 of Hutchings and down in the grass, just like the last lap of the first feature here for nines here.
Missed a shift.
He may have missed a shift, but he didn't miss anything else.
He hit everything else.
He was involved.
He didn't hit the pace car.
Yeah, but it's coming out here.
Second caution early in this one. 8 laps completed. 32 to go here. Small field, but like you said, this is going to be a doozy here for the final race of the Hanlon Realty 75. First eSports for Eastbound International here in 2022. But it's going to be the 41, Jason Goss, once again on the restart. That's going to put Nick Codner out of row number 2, and he's going to move up to row number 1 to the outside.
You know, Mike, over the holidays, just while I think of this, over the holidays, I seen somebody is getting married. Seen a big rock on his girlfriend's finger there. Dazzling Dillmeister. Congratulations, Dill, if you're still with us. Way to go, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. I made the fiance dazzling Chantel now. She's got all the sparkles and everything now on that ring finger.
I thought it was your ring finger, but
Right,
we are
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Beautiful hands. We are back to racing. Jason Goss and Nicholas Conner. If you remember lap number 1, they went at it, but they are wrecking behind mid-pack there. That's going to draw out the third caution. These guys are having a hard time getting one lap in, but that's going to involve the 88 on this one and Bob Hutchings. A little rough housing going here at the quarter mark.
And that's a good way to trim the field out. You can just about guarantee it here as the action hot and heavy here at Stafford tonight. 40 laps is what we're trying to get in here. And a note they will after they get things sorted out.
Yeah, you can see there, Kong Beerbong instant replay. The 81 looks like he got into the quarter panel there. Got the 77 and 88 pointed in the wrong direction. Lots of damage on both of those cars here tonight. But you made mention, Joe, kind of cutting the field just a little bit as we get more and more into this race. So we'll see what goes on next.
Well, Campbell's going to start all the way to the rear.
The 44 Goss out front. Pottle in second spot. Codner in the 54 car, of course, won that first 35-lap race. Back in third spot, Phil Fowler, the 11. How about it? Ronald McDonald, he's in fourth spot. Look out, Mike. Here comes Phil.
Row number 2, not sporting the 11 numbers on the car here tonight. He's being a little bit of a dark sheep here on the outside of row number 2. But representing the Ronald McDonald House Canada, or Newfoundland Labrador House. So be interesting to see. He does have one checkered flag here tonight in heat race number 1. Can he get it done here in race number 2? Or the Hanlon Realty 75?
Out of the car there, bud.
What's that?
The numbers are on the inside of the door. Phil trying to keep us all guessing.
Right? Well, here we go. Lights are out on that pace car. Jason Goss, the 41 of Torbay, will get the start here. Codner on the backside of, or the inside of row number 2, will be on the backside of the 41.
Side by side, down the back, we're going to look for that pace car to duck off. 14 laps complete of 40 here tonight.
Small field, but definitely making it interesting here in the early parts of this one, Joe.
Sure is. That pace car goes for a quick loop, and watch Codner in the 54 car. Just keep your eye on that car and that Healy in the 84 car as the green flag flies down into turn 1 and 2. Now down the stretch. So far so good, Mike. No yellow.
Fowler has disappeared off the map. They went 3 wide there, but single car incident has not drawn out the caution as we look at Fowler trying to catch back up to the crowd. But he got squeezed out of that one by Bob Hutchings and Chantel Bottle. Not sure what transpired. It was a little bit off the screen here, but he's got a lot of room to make up here, but still early. 25 to go as Chantel Bottle washes up the track. She's going to lose track position as Mike Rida picks up a spot as they continue on here with 24 to go. Jason Goss, the 41, in control.
Now we've got the cars going single file here. Now they're going to log some laps. Watch how fast this one goes. Now if you make a move, you should be clear in a hurry as the 54 car is laying there in wait in that second spot. But I don't think he's going to stay there much longer, Mike. It looks like he's kind of anxious to get back out in clean air.
Well, not sure who's spotting who, but both of them are actually teammates. And I know Doug Critch up in Fort McMurray probably biting at the bit as he watches 2 teammates actually go at it here, part of the DC Auto team, both natives of Torbay. But we've seen in lap number 1, Nicholas Codner and Jason Hansen exchanging the paints here. This is going to be full on for this one here as Nicholas Codner is going to be looking for a back-to-back here at the Eastbound eSports first race of the season as we take a side profile of the 54, now challenging the 41. Hot the trot on the back bumper Little Skrupski there, shaking up the Sparko 41.
Yeah, teammates, when they're talking about going on the racetrack, not looking like teammates right now, and they won't be looking like teammates in 5 or 10 laps, so to speak. The 54 Codner, make no doubt, wants to win this race. And there just could be a little bump and run in the 41's future here.
Now in Cup racing, teammates, Kyle Busch and several other of these big teams, sometimes you see the teammates go at it right on the big screen in Cup Series as well. What do you think is probably the biggest rivalry as teammates in the Cup Series?
Ooh, man, there is a lot of them. And there's going to be a bunch of new ones come 2022 at Daytona. With that new car, Mike, this is going to be a real game changer.
I kind of like the Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch.
Yeah, and they do. Two fierce competitors, right? Like Denny, kind of a quiet-spoken guy until you make him mad.
Right? Well, hopefully we get that out of the 11 here tonight. Phil Fowler still in this one, finds himself in P6. May need a restart here to get back into the crunch of this one. But as we ride on board, we're seeing some lap traffic as now as they come up on the 88 of Michael Rideout. Jason Goss trying to navigate around here cleanly, but opens up the door, and here comes the 54, Nicholas Codner. He'll exchange to the back quarter to 41, but the 41 escapes on this one. Man, what a battle between the DC Auto teammates.
Yeah, 16 to go. You can't leave the door open like that and not expect Mr. Codner to come barging through it. You don't want to do that if you're the 41 car. That's an invitation.
Well, we've watched some of these Bandolero kids and so on through even the Maritime Pro Stock Tour, Dylan Blancourt and so many others. The skill level of these young guns are so incredible. But we're going to see a caution here that's going to stack them back up. Big advantage for Phil Fowler in the 11. But take us back, Paul.
Yeah, another Kong Beer Bong instant replay, and this one as well brought to us by the 9s. Brandon Campbell in the 99 car. We're going to take a peek here. Right in behind Bob Hutchins in the number 77 car, and you can see everything looks good getting into the corner. About halfway through, though, a little bit of a tap from the 99. Brandon Campbell into Bob Hutchins, sending him into the wall there, and you actually see the 99 car call for a tow truck here. So he may be done, not for the evening, but he might be done here for the Eastbound races.
That old flagman really gets a workout. When you see that guy on the flag, he's really beating that flag up, Mike.
Whacking the flag here as we see our fourth caution. 13 to go here as we try to knock this one out for the Hanlon Realty 75. Small field right now, but man, oh man, do these guys putting on a show on the front row. But that's going to restack them. Big advantage for the 84. Noah Healy. Bob Hutchins will be to the outside. Chantal Powell should be in that row number 3. Fowler's going to find himself down a lap here. I believe heading down pit road has caused that situation, but he's I'm not quite sure if they're going to score him down a lap, as we see some funny stuff going on with the scoreboard here as they get set. Lights are out as the field comes around. The lights out on that pace car. 41 with the hammer to get things going here. 12 to go at the Hanlon Realty 75, live right here at Stafford Motor Speedway in Connecticut, USA. I'm Mike James and my good friend Joe Chisholm Sr., not Junior.
Easy
here tonight. Start calling you Junior.
Happy New Year. Here we go. Green flag is back out. Codner picking it up pretty well where he left off. Now he drops down to the bottom of the racetrack. The 41 car. Hey, there is a little bit of action back there. Philly, look at that. There's our man, Phil.
Dukes of Hazzard going to bring out the 5th caution here.
Happy New Year, indeed.
Come on, Bo Duke.
Woo, it's a good thing we're not drinking a beer every one of these cautions. We would be tore up. But we'll pull this back up for another Kong Beer Bong instant replay, and a little bit of contact. You can see side by side Bob Hutchins, Chantal Pottle in the 5 car, and you can see Phil Fowler a little bit in there, too hot. Comes up, hits the back bumper, the 5 sends her on around, comes back down, gives the 88 a tap for his measures as well. There's a lot of damage on that 88 car, but still going tough for Mike Rideout. Looks like he's still on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap there in 6th. So A few more laps to go here in a heat race in the feature number 2.
I got to give a big shout out to the 88 Mike Rideout, posted up this morning the paint scheme that he had on that car for tonight. The Mike Rideout Motorsports on the hood. Super excited about these Eastbound eSports. So great to have him a part of this. He's from Conception Bay South. Also a big part of the car community here in Newfoundland, Labrador. So having a peek at that 88 paint scheme as he is showing it off there early on. Some nice ones here tonight. A lot of them done by Chantel Pottle. And we are back to green flag. 8 to go here, Joe. Jason Goss with a great restart here as Noah Healy almost had the edge there on the 54 to the bottom, but Codner will escape here and clear for that P2.
I'm kind of confused because that actually looked like an 81 and not an 84 in the 3rd spot. You got to help me out with that there because it honestly looks like an 81.
Well,
it's an 81 on screen, but an 84 in our timing and scoring. It's one of the neat little quirks with iRacing.
There we go. Okay, now that sort of helps an old guy out, you see, because that did look like an 81, and I'm thinking it should be an 84. But nevertheless, 6 to go. The 41 guys has maintained the lead here. And that really surprises me. Like Codner is going to make a move. It's just a question of when.
100%. He's not going to want to show his cards too early here because, you know, Jason Goss could repay the favor here as they knock him off. Fistful of 5 here as they come around 3 and 4. Going to grab this lap and make it 4 to go here. What a beautiful battle we've seen from these two Torbay natives earlier on. Shaking things up, exchanging paints, getting dirty, even on lap number 1. So it's going to be interesting to see what this final lap is going to have for us. Healy still within striking distance, trying to make up that gap here in P3. So he's got a podium finish, but there's the leaders. About a quarter of a track ahead of the rest of the field here. 2.3 seconds ahead here with 3 to go, Joe.
That 41 car looks a lot better off the turn than what the 54 car does. It looks like the 54 car's got a little more on the way in, but he can't use it as the 41 is there. 2 to go. We'll find out who has studied up their bump and run through the holidays. We're going to see.
Well, hopefully we'll see these guys in the next one for the TCM, but that's going to bring out a green-white checkered here. Sticks caution, and Fowler is around, so we're going to see what it transpired. Paul, take us back.
Yeah, pulling up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay right now, and it looks like the 88 backed up just a little bit to avoid calamity with the 81 car, and, well, the calamity found him. Phil Fowler into the back of the 88, spins both cars around, and a little bit more damage added to the 11, a little bit more damage added to the 88 car as well. And one thing I want to point out, we saw a couple of laps there running on board with Nick Codner. He's really figured out the secret to this place. You can see he's able to back the corners up, get off the throttle a little bit earlier than the 41, and really stick that car down on that apron, the flatter part of the racetrack. Gets that thing rotating fantastic, but then can't go anywhere because the 41 is right in front of him. So I would say look for an evasive maneuver for the 54 car, Nick Codner, here on this restart for sure.
Paul, looking at my history books, when they go to a green-white checkered at Stafford, it usually takes 20 minutes.
Those are the modifieds. These are super late, so we should only be here about 10-15 more minutes for these 3 laps.
I thought that guy was eating hot dogs.
Yeah, where's my hot dog? No, you got to get the pulled pork sandwich here from Stafford. That's
right. Yeah, what am I doing? I'm gonna go grab another one.
We're all going to have to do a pilgrimage to Stafford and hang out with Paul.
100%. Hang out with the Renner Race Car crew and some island boys, some of the Casa Grandes and Farrells and all those guys that hang out with us.
Here we go, Joe. It's going to be a great one here to finish this one off for the Hanlon Realty 75, folks. If you're out looking for a house or want to buy, sell, check out Wayne Hanlon and his team at hanlonrealty.ca. Here we go, and it's going to be the 41, Jason Goss with the hammer here, and it's going to be Nicholas Codner to the outside. Going to be exciting to throw down the final 2 laps. When will Codner put the push here as they go side by side into the corner here? But look at this. Here comes Bob Hutchings, the 77, shaking things up with exchanging paints with the 54.
Yeah, 4-car left the door open, and
Here comes Phil.
Phil Fowler just passed him. Well, I spoke too soon.
Reckon down a lap though. So, but they are going to stay under green. 41 in control of this. Bob Hutchins P2. Here comes Nicholas Codner. Checker's going to be coming out for the 41. Torbay native Jason Goss going to take this one in race number 2. And they're wrecking in turn 1. Unofficially, but officially, Joe, we have 2 DC Auto teammates taking each win here tonight. 41 Jason Goss getting it done here in race number 2.
Yes, good job on the 41 car. I believe Codner cut him some slack on a couple, but that's what teammates do every now and then. It is checkered flag for the 41 car. Good run.
Hutchins came out of nowhere there on that restart and really shook things up with Nicholas Codner. I don't think Nick knew that Hutchins was going to be coming so strong into the inside there, but I believe we're going to have some words with a couple of our drivers.
Jason Goss, we got you there, bud.
Nobody in the server. Okay.
Nope.
We got
complain.
We got Nick.
Joe.
We got Nicky. What's going on there, Nick? Not a bad run for you, bud. What happened at the end there? It looked like you piled the 54 car up pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know what's the deal with the 77 car, but he seems like the only way he can pass me is absolutely flat me, and he likes talking crap in practice, so I don't know. But I had a bit of engine damage in that second race, so I couldn't really get Jason, but, it was a lot of fun.
Look, a couple of times, Nick, it looked like, from where we were sitting, it kind of looked like you were cutting the 41 some slack there, and you'd save it towards the end and then take a run at him. It wasn't in the cards tonight, but is that the way? Like, could you have got him a little bit earlier in the race, but maybe didn't want to at that point?
I mean, like, I could have moved him, but, I mean, if I move him and then wreck him, I'm going to the back and probably getting wrecked 5 more times, so, and, especially he's my teammate, I'm not going to run him too hard, but I'm definitely not going to let him win, so, for people who think that, me and Jason are just teammates and letting each other win all the time, it's not how it goes. Yeah, like you said, I probably could have got him earlier on in the run. I never really had the car, and then at the end there, I was kind of just junked.
Well, you've got a good machine under you now. Will that mess you up for the next one, bud, or is that will it make any difference at all on the 54? Because you did have a really good car.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not racing the next race because I have to go to school tomorrow, which is online learning, so that's gonna be great. Yeah, no, we had a good car tonight. That first race, I was pretty lights out, and second one I was fast too. I just couldn't get the job done.
Well, congratulations on the earlier win and really not a bad run here in the second race. Who have you got sponsoring that 54 car? I love the way you've got it laid out there, bud.
First off, my parents, biggest supporters out there, and they do everything for me, and I can't thank them enough. And then we got DC Auto on the hood, and M&R Performance, Winco Flags. So everyone gets the job done. And, I'm just so thankful to be able to come and race these things, and you guys put them off, and Tim does a great job on the sim, and shout out to you guys as well.
Gotta love it, brother. You have a good one. Learn lots tomorrow. We want to see you back out here with that green 54 car and go and get the job done once again. Good job tonight.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You bet. Nicholas Codner in the 54 car. Mikey, that guy can get her done.
He can get her done quite often. A lot of things that he does. I don't know how much you know of what's going on with Nick's life right now, but he's really tearing up the curling rink, chasing after that Brad Gushu legend. Hopefully one day we'll see young Nick Codner on the Briar one day.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? He seems like a driven individual. When he puts his mind to do something, he can get the job done, and he can get it done better than most. So watch Nick come up through the ranks and watched him in his Bandolero car. Tell you what, exciting to say the least. A true little short track professional, I can tell you that.
100%. Very disciplined. You heard it earlier, going to bed, got school tomorrow under these COVID restrictions currently. These kids are studying at home right now. So, hats off to him. I got to visit twice to his school in Torbay many, many years ago, and quite a well-rounded school student. So great to have him. But we're going to go to break here before we get going for the next event. Stay tuned here, guys. We got a big one coming up, Joe. Dylan Langell is going to join us, and the TCM special event is going to continue.
Always great to see the Atlantic Modified Tour here on the high banks of Petty International Raceway, a series I spent about 5 years traveling with as their official announcer. And I always like seeing them come here to Petty International Raceway, and they know how to put on a show.
Can't wait to see this. Love seeing the open wheel cars. And Jesse, take us through our lineup here and let the fans know who's racing.
How about the Universal Truck and Trailer, the 2W? From South Esk is Chris Wilson. Driver number 97 going to line up to the outside is Kim Hallahan from Renews. From Blackville, it's Braxton Stafford in row number 2 in the 91 car. And the lone Nova Scotia resident, the 84 from Spring Hill, is Brandon Skidmore. Driver number 2 is Kevin Bailey to the outside, a former international winner, Zine Dutcher in the 55 car. Travis Conroy in the Sign Warehouse number 7. Eve McRae in car number 58. Two-time series champion Joe Hoyt in the 17. And returning to the modified ranks, the 81 is Jamie Weston.
Pretty cool to see the variety of styles, Jesse. I see the 84 looks a little bigger compared to the 91, but basically all the same thing. An open wheel. Wish this division was a bit bigger in Nova Scotia. I would love to see an AMT race in Nova Scotia.
The Atlantic Modifieds have run Lake Dowsett Motor Speedway once upon a time. They've run at Riverside in years past, but it's been mainly a New Brunswick tour here for the last couple of seasons. Of course, Spud Speedway in Maine also hosting events previously, but with the border closing, not able to run over there this season. But fans, if you've never seen modifieds here at Petty Raceway, it is going to be a show. So it's Chris Wilson in the 2W, Kim Hallahan in the 97. Dylan, take us through the start.
Green flag about to be waved here at Petty International Raceway. The 2W, Chris Wilson, grabs the lead as they all dive in turn 1 for the Atlantic Modified Tour. A little bit of bumper play from a few cars. There's Hallahan in the 97 working around the 91. I'm just almost in awe watching all these cars, and we're 3 wide in the front stretch nearly.
Zine Dutcher thought about it in the 55 car, had to back out of it side by side for that second spot. Good run into 3 for Kim Hallahan in the 97. Braxton Stafford going to be relegated.
Oh, 3 wide, Jesse. 84 makes contact with the 55, and they somehow save it.
Zine Dutcher deciding it's go time, wanting to work up the middle. Brandon Skidmore, a former champion of the series, dropping like a rock to the rear of the field.
Yeah, he was on the outside near the wall, and Skidmore's fallen all the way back. What a tight place there in the front stretch to be 3 wide, especially with these wide modified cars. Wilson still in front with Hallahan on the charge in second. 91. Stafford trying to catch up and get away from the 2 wide battle behind him.
And you can feel the thunder of the modifieds here at Petty International Raceway. This time by 5 up and 5 to go for Chris Wilson.
Kim Hallahan starting to close in on Chris Wilson, the 2W. Not anywhere near the rest of the battle. This race flying by over the halfway point. Lap 6 coming up.
Joe Hoyt trying to roll the outside on the 7 to Travis Conroy. Hoyt, a long-time driver in the modified ranks. Travis Conroy, still pretty new to the modifieds, but proving himself quickly.
He's been pretty good, getting himself a few wins in this AMT Tour. Chris Wilson is still leading this heat race with Kim Hallahan, about a car length between a car length and 2 car lengths behind, getting ready for 2 laps to go.
2 to go in the Atlantic Modified Tour heat race. Of course, qualifying for the Crown Rust Control 50 a little later on today. They'll have an extended distance feature.
I know they traditionally do 35-lap features, so this is going to be a test of what you got underneath the engine.
A white flank in the air now for Chris Wilson. Kim Hallahan driving down the backstretch, trying to close in on him. And out of turn number 4. We'll see the white flag this time, or checkers in the air this time, rather. Chris Wilson coming to the victory. His hero, Kim Hallahan, going to come home second. Braxton Stafford, Travis Conroy, and the 17 of Joe Hoyt rounding out your top 5. And Dylan, the Atlantic Modified Tour here, they're set up with a trailer just outside the main gates, ready to talk about racing, sell some souvenirs, sell some gear. And we got Glenn Knott here. Glenn, tell us a little bit about all you're doing with the Atlantic Modified Tour.
No, you. No, you.
No, you.
No, you.
Okay, me. Fine, I'll take over then since you just announced the Hanlon Realty 75. What's going on, folks? Dylan Langell here with Mike James. It's another TCM iRACING special event. This is the Time Attack to kick off 2022.
Time Attack?
Time Attack.
Say that again.
Time Attack.
There we go, Dylan. Man, you took in the first couple of races here at Stafford. Some of those Eastbound guys have a bit of an advantage here for this big TCM event. 41 to 48 drivers here vying to get into the 22-car field here tonight for the big main event.
Yeah, it's a stacked field, and Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. It's probably safer here in iRacing world than it is in the real world at this rate here. But, yeah, a big number of drivers from all across North America are here. I know a lot of the NEPS guys are mixed in here, a lot of the regulars with the local racing scene in the Maritimes, a couple of Newfoundlanders sticking around here after the Eastbound E-Series. And tonight, it is Time Attack Racing, so we'll have a few heat races coming up. They will be 4-minute heat races with the top 3. Now, is this where I messed up? Paul, what are we doing here?
I thought you knew what you're talking about.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. You said you had it.
You said you had it, man.
Was I right?
We're close. We're close. 4-minute heat races. We're taking the top 3. Nope, that's backwards. We're 3-minute heat races, taking the top 4. And then we're taking some guys from the Conti races. And all in all, we've got 49 drivers that have taken a practice lap here. We're only taking 22 for the feature for 2022, as well as the flagship Renner Race Car numbers. So I've got to give a shout out to Renner Race Car live on their Facebook page here tonight. And we got some Stafford boys in here in the field here tonight. The number 7, Corey Casagrande, longtime racer at Stafford Motor Speedway. And you made mention, doing a lot of NEPS guys, the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing group, jumping on in, joining the Canadians here. Getting a little Tim's Corner special events action going on. Corey Casagrande, Kenny Kibbe, Devin Marhefka, Ryan Libby, Zane Farrell from down at Jennerstown, Brandon Uhouse, Jason Ricker, a bunch of northeastern racers and guys that go to the racetrack and work on cars and all sorts of stuff. So adding a little bit more racing history to the field.
Just all a bunch of very cool people.
That's right.
You got it. You got it. It is really cool. So, okay, we got it settled. We're going to have a couple of minute heat races. We'll have the timer and everything. I believe we'll have it there up there. But top 3.
Wait a minute. Stop, Dylan. Stop. Am I the only dummy here? So at the 3-minute mark, when it stops the clock, whoever's in position's in position. There's no checkers.
After
it's basically going to
the next lap.
Next lap, yeah.
Next lap.
So timer runs out. Start finish line.
I like this.
You know what? The only way to know exactly what we're doing is to tune in live right here at Vidane TV, because here we go.
Push.
Well, actually, no, and the way to kind of think about it, and the way I was introduced really to Stafford in real life was watching the XRX race, the debut for the Superstar Racing Experience, and they had timed heats for their heat races. So similar concept where if the timer hits, they'll go one more lap and finish her off.
And that's exactly what we're doing here tonight. And it's pretty cool to see all the different names here from the Maritimes, from Eastbound, up there on the rock. Again, the Stafford Speedway guys jumping in, a couple of Jennerstown racers as well. Huge field here tonight, almost 50 drivers, a couple of drivers all been practicing throughout the night here. And you made mention earlier, Mikey, those Eastbound guys and gals got a little bit of an advantage. They've run a bunch of laps, almost 100 laps between heat races and practice and all that good stuff so far here at Stafford.
100%. The Stafford is a new track to some of these drivers. A lot of them I just talked to earlier on in the afternoon. They were downloading the track, so first time here in the sim. So those guys and gal that were here earlier on logged quite a few competitive laps there earlier on. So we'll see how those guys and gals showcase here in the heat race qualifiers. Showtime, we also have Joe Chisholm, Smoke Joe has exited now, and we thank him for joining us earlier on, Dylan. Many memories of calling some races with Joe.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun pre-pandemic with the Racetime radio crew at Riverside and Scotia Speed World, and who knows what 2022 will bring. I think we're all just taking it one day at a time here and stepping carefully so we're not getting too crazy. But of course, race teams and so many schedules coming out. I mean, New Year's Eve, it was filled with news from the East Coast International Pro Stock Tour here in the Maritimes releasing their schedule. Petty Raceway releases their schedule. The Maritime, the new Sportsman Series, Mass, they've been releasing dates of when they're racing. So we're getting the calendar all filled up here, but we are still in winter, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like winter in Nova Scotia because it was 11 degrees yesterday. So it's a good time here on iRacing, and over half the field will not make the main race here. In the main race, 40 minutes. So not a set lap time, or lap amount, pardon me. So about 40 minutes, similar to the heat races coming up, with a couple of quick ones, a couple quickies we'll call them here.
Quickies? Well, this is going to be interesting here. Like you said, 40-plus drivers, 22 going into the big show. That's going to shape up for the who's who here in the northeastern United States and Canada. The who's who of sim racing going to be in the main event here for the TCM special event. It's going to be great here. Let us know on social media channels who you're cheering for. Let us know where you're watching from, and give us a happy new year to the booth up here at Vidane TV. Let us know you're listening, and
Oh, iRacing is back, brother. The band's back together.
The band is back. And I got a new microphone.
Yeah, it sounds great. Santa bring it?
It's fancy.
Santa bring it to you?
Yeah, from Best Buy.
Nice.
You know, like Best Buy, like the buys are up the road, you know?
Yeah. Well, they got Santa sometimes has this
company.
Well, sometimes he's got to swing in there and grab a couple of things. But whoever gave you the hookup, they did a good job. Hey, you know what? We're going to hook right into the first heat race coming up for the Time Attack TCM special event here on a Monday evening. Maybe a holiday if you had a Lou Day. I had one of those. I burned that off today. But let's go through the starting lineup, and it's a big mixture of Americans and Canadians here. We're going to start with Ryan Libby from the New England area on the front row. Mike Rhino is outside starting second.
And in position number 3, Kenny Kibbe. That's one I'm familiar with from the NEP series, as well as Brandon Marifka. I think I butchered his name.
We'll get it as we go along here. Mike Hopkins and Bob Hutchings, who just competed in the previous event. Got to chat with Bob during the TCM live show before Christmas, too. He doesn't like Blue Star beer. I don't know what's wrong with him.
I love Blue Star and India. But in position number 7, my good friend Johnny Byron is there, as well as Quentin Carpenter.
Chris Carter and Kenny McKenzie Jr., row number 5, and at the back end of the field, Dave Horton and Todd Tufts. So 12 drivers going for the first 3 positions here. 4 positions. Is it 4 positions?
I'm going to get this one. From Pennsylvania, that's Brandon Marhefka.
Marhefka.
I like that name. That's just like a cup name. He needs to get in a cup.
Marhefka.
Anyways, Mike Rhino is going to be on the outside on this official start. They're showing 19 to go, but it's like you said, news to me. But we are going with a timed. Once we hit the 3-minute mark, I believe there will be 1 lap to go, and then we'll take the top 4 into the 22-car field for the main event. Presented by Hanlon Realty here tonight. Big shout out to Wayne Hanlon and Martina. Happy New Year. I hope you're all doing well at home. So let's get going here. Dylan to 46. Ryan Libby with the start.
And here we go at Stafford Motor Speedway, famous short track in the New England area. And like I mentioned, I really enjoyed watching the SRX series there. Oh, we got a big wreck on the backstretch. Looks like Hopkins is going for a wild ride down the backstretch, and that will bring out to the first caution pretty early on here in the TCM Time Attack event.
It's going to shake it up by bringing our good friend Paul Showtime Strickland to take us back. Couple of cars involved in this one, Paul.
Yeah, 100%. Pulling up the first Kong Beer Bong instant replay of the second group of races we've got going on here tonight. And, well, with the 78 car of Mike Hopkins pointed in the wrong direction, you'd think it was a Neps race. But we're going to take a look here at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. Looks like he had a little bit of help there from the 77, I believe it was. Came across the back of that car, spun the U-House Racing Design 78 around. A little bit of damage on the front, but looks like he's going to be able to keep on fighting through this one.
I can only imagine there's some curse words being thrown in the sim on lap number 1. But we'll get things going, and we are on that score clock. Do we have a clock here, Paul?
We kind of, sort of. I've got a clock on my end. We're 1 minute and 16 seconds in, so we're going to have to try and get that back and forth. I guess I can keep yelling in your ears to see what we got for time here.
Give us an alarm, like a womp, womp, womp.
But that's just it, with these time attack races, now a good majority is being chewed up by pace laps here. So for drivers like Kenny McKenzie, who are on the outside from 4th position, they're really hoping, okay, boys, let's get going. We got to get back racing here so he can try and race in the 40-minute time attack feature tonight.
Yeah, and those guys that started to the back, like Todd Tufts, now find himself in P10. Like, he needs some laps to kind of come up through the field. This is a tight field here tonight, so starting on the back on these heat races, it's going to be very difficult to find yourself in the P4. Now, there will be a consi involved with this, and we're going to be taking the top 3 in that one.
Yep.
There'll be a couple of consis in that one as they almost go 3 wide on the start here. This is, earlier on we seen the Eastbound eSports series, and I was thinking that it was just a bit of rookie jitters here at Stafford, but Stafford seems to be a wild track. Paul Showtime Strickland, this is your home track. I'm sure quite often in real life you see some of this activity as we see a car into the infield here on lap. I don't even know what lap we're on.
We don't know.
Almost 3 minutes in. There's the checkered flag, and it's over. Let's all go home. But that's the checkered flag right there. Ryan Libby coming home with heat race win number 1. And you're exactly right, Mikey. The action is intense here at Stafford Motor Speedway. And it's a little bit different for me watching these super late models from all these nifty camera angles we've got from iRacing, because I'm usually the guy down Riccio, the 39 late model, one of the rental race car owners. We're usually crewing him, and I usually watch the late model races by spinning it around in a circle in the same spot down on pit road.
Oh, well.
Eats hot dogs?
Eats
Maybe.
hot dogs. Lots of hot dogs, lots of pulled pork, all down on pit road.
Little delay there from our good friend Paul, but we're set to go again. Noel Fougere, aka Bubbles, is going to be in this one on P1, and that is Justin Robichaux.
Robichaux. Yeah, you got it.
Now
there.
we're showing Carson Nagy up in front, but anyways, take us through the lineup there, Dylan.
Yeah, it looks like then as we got the line all kind of stacking up here. By the way, Ryan Libby getting the big win there in the first heat race. We'll go through the starting lineup. Big bad Brandon Campbell was supposed to be starting first, but I don't know if he's looking for a little challenge because he's at the back. Anthem singer for Riverside International Speedway, Bubbles, Noel Fougere, starting second with Carson Nagy and Justin Robichaux on row 2.
Dave Cassidy and Keith Lord going to make up the next one. Keith Lord from New England.
Craig Tully, Wade Craswell, 7th and 8th. Terry Duguay from Prince Edward Island starting 9th. And Tyler Hallahan, lightning competitor at Scotia Speed World. A very special race coming up for his late grandfather, Jim Hallahan, the Jim Hallahan 333, this Sunday afternoon on TCM and Vidane TV. Jason Alverson and Kari Ayers, I believe I'm pronouncing their name right. Apologize if I'm not. And Nicholas Mott at the back end of the field starting 13th.
Kari Ayers. maybe.
I do, right?
I don't know. We'll go with it.
Okay.
Anyways,
green in the air. Green in the
hopefully
air.
this time our producer gives us a hell yeah, we got one to go here, because total surprise on that last one. Completion. All on you, Paul.
It's all live TV. We try our best.
Well, it looks like Fougiere's going to battle it out with Carson Libby.
Nagy.
Or Nagy.
Oh, we got a spinner going in the infield. Thankfully, there's no infield wall there. That would be pretty unforgiving. It's pretty deep in there.
We have
a spinner. Trying to see who that is.
It'll be Keith Lord in the 61 car. Mowing the grass down a little bit. We stay green. No damage on that 61 car.
Nah, but you're gonna be fighting in the Consi at this right now. Is Nagy paces the field, getting a little bit out in front of Noel Fougier. Dave Cassidy battling with Craig Tully and Robichaux, and that's the big battle for the transfer position automatically to the Time Attack feature. And Craig Tully in that 5 car, he's got 2 cars right hot on his heels. Ron Bohr, but Brandon Campbell working his way through the field. I don't know if he was looking for an extra challenge here. We'll see if Brandon does a little bumper play here. And again, only a few minutes in these heat races, folks. So they're racing on the clock. In that first heat race, it was littered with the caution, as it almost looks like he had a little stutter step there, Brandon did, in the turn in that number 99, the RKM Motorsports super late model, as we wind off some laps. But again, it's not really about the laps, it's the time. And we can see Nagy, minute and a half left to go. So a minute 30, they can get a few laps under their belt here, Mike.
We'll cross flags, but give it up for the 99 of Brandon Campbell, all the way from the back of the pack. Now find himself just on the outside of that top 4. Taking 4 into the main event here. Campbell going to do everything in his power to try to get around the 05 of Tully here, but this one's being controlled by Carson Nagy out front. Noel Fougier taking a peek to the inside there, challenging for that lead here as they go side by side into the corner. And here comes Fougier. He's your new leader.
1 minute left to go in this heat race at Stafford Motor Speedway for the TCM Time Attack special event. And by the way, if someone wins this race and they didn't automatically qualify for the 333 coming up this weekend, it's going to help them get there, along with the TCM All-Star event, the showcase event coming up in April, I believe. So it'll give them an automatic ticket to there. But Noel Fougier got some great pipes singing the American Canadian National Anthem in Riverside back in 2021. Looking forward to see him in 2022. Less than 30 seconds to go, and he's got a little bit of a lead in front of Nagy. It's Dave Cassidy and Craig Tully, 3rd and 4th. Brandon Campbell, he's not too close to the number 5, 15 seconds. This is really coming down to crunch time. Brandon Campbell is not near there.
Whoa.
Tully gets a little loose there to turn 2. And with the seconds winding down on the clock, we'll see if Brandon sends it into turn 3. White flag lap, so there's one more shot. One more shot, Mike James.
That's what we're looking for, that final lap. Can Campbell get it done? But it's all going to be the 36 of Noel Fougier on this one as he comes around 3 and 4. Going to grab some checkers here, followed by Carson Nagy. And there's the challenger, but it's not going to work out for Brandon Campbell. Your top 4 is going to be Dave Cassidy and Craig Tully completing that field. Campbell going to find himself in a Consi.
Thing is, you can't race dirty in these heat races because, race control, old double T there, Tim Terry. It'll set you up for a bad evening, and also the incident points building up as well. Don't want that to happen. So we'll move on to our 3rd heat race. I want to thank you all for tuning in here on a Monday night. Dylan Lanchel from Riverside Speedway, Heart of a Champion, Hot Rod Classics, and Mike James from Eastbound Park. We're all getting ready for a big 2022, and this is kind of the preseason, getting warmed up here in iRacing.
Yeah, I had to wake up. I took the Christmas season off. Never made a lot of noise on social media. I kept it pretty quiet with my family, but lots of big news coming out of the Eastbound corner now in the next month. So we are one of the ones that not have their schedule out, but some pretty exciting news come down the pipe, Dylan, and looking forward to a successful 2022 season.
Yeah, I can't wait. Hope all tracks have a great 2022 coming up, and it's exciting to see all the schedules coming out, like we mentioned, as we move on to heat race number 3, the TCM Time Attack event, pardon me. I'm just getting all the vocal cords ready, too. I'm a radio host for my full-time job, but I've had so many days off, I'm getting a little rusty here. I gotta get back in tip-top shape, and we're all back at the office tomorrow.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a doozy. Matthew Barkhouse is in this one. one of the top performers here in the TCM. So some big heavy hitters in this one. Josh Langell's in this one. So this one should be exciting here as we get set to go here. 3 minutes going to be on the timer once again. And that is John Gahan and Matthew Barkhouse on the front row.
As we get ready to go into turn number 1 on the front stretch, green in the air. Time Attack Heat Race number 3 is on, and we will see who will come out on top and who will finish in the top 4 to move on to the main event. Again, only 22 cars will be going here, and you can see immediately we've got a wreck including Josh Langell, maybe the 44 of U-House as well.
We've seen a lot of, first lap cautions here tonight, even in the Eastbound series. So consistent right through as I believe they're talking about that in the setups. You really need to get a couple of laps in to get these cars lay down some quick laps.
Yeah, it's more the track itself, too, with Stafford Motor Speedway being as flat as it is. It takes a couple of laps to get the tires warmed up. And during the Eastbound race, it was a fixed setup supplied by RKM Setup Shop. Be sure to check those guys out. Glad to have them on board as a supporter here. And this race is actually open setup, so these drivers are able to kind of tweak everything to their liking, and you'll see a lot of teammates kind of running the same setups here as well.
So this will eat up this will eat up a few minutes, Mike.
Yeah, unfortunate for the guys closer to the rear, like Withers and Newhouse, Hamilton, Langell. Like Josh Langell is going to find himself here in I believe position number 11. So you got Rational, Richard Drake back there, Burke, Potier, and Williams all vying to come up through. So halfways, we are cross flags, I guess we'll call that on the time ticker, but we are set to go here. Halfways, about just under a minute and a half to go here. Not a lot of time, Dylan, as we get things set here. Matthew Barkhouse controlling this to the front. Look at that mid-pack moves here, side-by-side race, a little bumper-to-bumper there going on as we get set here. Look at that new position there for the 4.
To quote the great Jerry Reed, we got a whole lot of time, not a whole lot of time, and a long time to go. Where I messed that song up. I've had a couple of drinks post-holiday. They're still lingering. We got a long way to go, not a lot of time to get there, and we are running out of time. We're going to be coming up to the minute mark here with this Time Attack Heat Race, and Rational Richard going right through with 25 seconds underneath Nick Pache, 45 seconds, pardon me. So that is the transfer spot right now as Rational Richard will snag that. But will he be able to hang on to it?
He's got his hands full behind him, but he sets his sights on Pache right now. The 26 being shown the 4 on the track, but he scored as the 26. But Rash is trying to get things done here. Rational Richard, 20 seconds to go here. John Gahan and Kenny trying to make something stick there behind the 141. Now creeping up to about a quarter of a bumper here. White silk in the sky, Dylan.
Yeah, and if I'm Nick Potier, man, oh man, I'm freaking out. You've got Rational Richard, a guy who won the TCM All-Star Showcase in 2021, hot right in your tire tracks. To the wire, no surprise here, Matt Barkhouse is going to dominate this race and win, and Ricker, Farrell, and Pache will move on to the main event.
You had to suspect that Rational Richard was going to be the gentleman on that one. We have but he's going to find himself in a consi here tonight. Top contender who will have a decent track position once we get to that consi. But here we go. Heat race. I believe we're in heat race number 3, 4. 1. 2.
So we'll bring up the lineup here and show off, and a lot of unfamiliar names to myself, although we got a couple familiar ones and just as they pop up right now. Josh Langell, 18, his brother was just in that race in number 3, and Thomas Axum there in the 2nd position from the New England area.
Chris Roma, P3, and Corey Casagrande. This is his home track, so he should be doing pretty good in this one.
Justin Collison in the 5th position, and Devin Marhefka from the Pennsylvania area starting 6th.
Marhefka. Kyle Young, look at that. look, he's changed the state to Carolina. That's one of the Race Time Radio announcers. He's going to join us here in P7. He's going to have Danny Vitch to the outside, like bitch.
Tony Wright, Tim Green, Scott Drost.
And Cole Butcher, look at that guy.
Yeah.
Snowball Derby man.
Finishing the podium at the Snowball Derby. Once again, congratulations to him. Tim was saying he wasn't sure if he was going to be here. It was almost like he was a late addition.
I got to ask you, did Cole Butcher make you proud to be a Canadian that day?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I love it in any series. If a Canadian is tangling up in front, I'm wearing that Maple Leaf proud. I love it. Even talking about the Daytona 500, word on the street is that Jacques Villeneuve is racing in the 500 this year. You're going to try and go for it. So
there's some big news coming out of Jacques Villeneuve. And, I can't say anything right now, but this cat has got some big storylines for 2022.
I may have to throw a couple blue stars at your way and try and get the scoop.
Well, it should be an interesting season here as we get set to go. Josh Langell going to get things going. I believe I said Josh earlier on in the other heat race.
Nate.
That was his brother.
Yeah.
So, my apologies to Josh, but we are set to go here. Ticker is back on.
No, we're not. We got a wreck.
They are keeping it consistent here tonight. First lap, before they even hit the corner of turn 1, they are wrecking, but they're going to keep this one under green, Dylan.
Wow, okay. I guess it was enough to take out Murphy, Butcher, and Kyle Young. They're all done here. They'll have to go through the Conti races. What a shame early on there. They just coming out of the corner. I think everyone's going for the same real estate again with only about 3 minutes in these races and the top 4 advancing. You just got to kind of lay it all on the line there as Josh Langell is holding off Axum in the 13 car on our computer screens here. Roma and Marhefka in the top 4. Now, Collison there is going to be catching up to Marhefka in just a moment, and that's going to be the hot battle. But, we got a couple of hot battles right now because we got first and second pretty close, and third, fourth, and fifth all bunched together. After that, a lot of space between the 112 and Wright.
Casa Grande, home track here, I believe, Paul. He is now finding himself in P9, really far back, about 15 seconds off the pace. I think he got caught up in that madness back there. But what a consi we're going to have in a little bit here as Cole Butcher and Kyle Young going to find themselves in there. Murphy as well. And I believe that's Strauss back there, 3 laps down. He's on pit road, so he's not going to make it back in time. But this one's going to be a doozy here as Langell trying to hold it here. Cross flags. Axum, another great name here, the 113. About a quarter of a second off the pace from our leader, Josh Langell in the 18.
Now, if you're noticing the 3 other cars there, third, fourth, and fifth, they're starting to close in a bit on Josh Langell and Axum. That's our big battle right now, 5 cars. With these heat races, the top 4 advance, but the further you are up in that top 4, the better starting position you have for the big race coming up here. I believe I just heard Paul say white flag, so...
No, 60 seconds.
60 seconds, all right. I need my hearing checked. We keep going on. We keep going on here with a minute, but that means that white flag will be coming out here real soon. It's still Josh Langell fending off Axum, and the Hornets Nest behind really starting to heat up, and Axum just right on the back end of Langell. I don't know if he wants to wait and maybe give a little movement to try and move the 18 car. Sometimes the paint schemes appear a little different from what we have here in timing and scoring. 30 seconds left to go as we're on board with Axum. And here comes a little shot to the back end, nearly to Josh Langell.
Axum trying to move Langell here, trying to take that P1 for position in the main event, because that one's going to be a goodie here. So track position is going to be massive as white rag comes out. Final lap. It's a party of 5. Can the 5th spot here, Collison, make a move here, Marhefka, as we chase the leaders. He's hard into the wall. That could shake up the lineup here as they all bundle up behind Langell. But it looks like they're going to finish in the same order as checkers are out. And it looks like Collison's going to find himself in the Consi. Oh, wow. What a shakeup on that final lap.
Man, how did Axum hang on? He was riding the backstretch wall, chasing after Josh Langell. Congrats to Josh getting the big win there. But, man,
He was looking for hot dogs.
Yeah, he was looking for that pulled pork sandwich, right?
Where is that Paul? Did he bring us snacks this time?
No, he's going. He went to go get one.
I want snacks.
So 22 cars are making up the starting lineup here. So this last chance for romance, and I think we're just gonna have. Are we having 2 or 1, Paul?
I will let you know in a matter of moments.
That means he doesn't know.
That means I do not know.
We'll find out together.
I do know one thing, that we are taking the top 3 in these consies.
And this is a 5-minute race.
How many of those consies did we just do? 5 heat races? That's 20. No, that don't make sense. My math does not add up. We did four heat races.
4 heat races times 3, that's 12. So probably 2
Yeah,
consies.
two consies. Yeah, there we go. Math. Hooked on phonics. Worked over here in Newfoundland. Ooh. 16 plus 6 equals 22. 2 consies.
1 blue star plus 1 blue star equals.
Now the question
More
is,
beer.
what was the time limit? I think he said
5.
5 minutes on the consies.
5 minutes in the consies.
This is really going to shake some up because
almost like
there's
Kamala.
some-
5.
Don't take this like a bad thing, but there's some nasty drivers in this one. This one's going to be a wild one.
Nasty drivers. Well, you can see the starting lineup here with Rational Richard Drake and Kenny Jr. on the front row. Chris Carter, John Gahan, Todd Tufts, Craig Kenny, Bob Hutchings, Mark Williams, Mike Hopkins, Nate Langell, John Byron, Brandon Uhouse. Going to drive right through Uhouse here coming up. Along with Dave Horton, Norman Hamilton, Stormin' Norman, Quentin Carpenter, Troy Burke, Jonathan Pollard, and Big Dan Withers there at the back end starting 18. So 18 drivers,
dude.
Three positions, 5 minutes.
This is
Let him go.
This is a 5-minute showcase. Main event. 18 drivers in the consi. 5 minutes on the board. How many?
And we're already getting dump and runs.
It's gonna stay consistent again. They were almost wrecking, and yes, they are gonna they're gonna bring out that caution.
Gonna bring out a Kong of Beer Bong instant replay and see if we can find out exactly what went down on lap number 1. And you guys have made mention with these first lap cautions really cutting into the time that these drivers have to get into this race.
Yeah, it's going to make it difficult for the drivers who were further on back that weren't involved in that wreck. I mean, yeah, you said it, Paul. This is just eating up the time for them to get back up. So they're going to be really hoping we get back racing here. But looking back on the screen, I mean, we can see a little bit of stacking up further on, but Rational Richard just got completely driven through in turn 1.
Yeah, you can see this is the stack up from the back of the field, and 3-car gets sent around. Hutchings gets a piece of it as well. Some madness going on in the back. We got to see if we could take a peek here at Rational Richard Drake in that 141 Lakers news machine, because he definitely got a little piece of the action as well there. We'll back it up, and that's all the way up in the second position. So 2 different incidents happening here. And there you can see the 141 down in the apron, gets a shot from the 016 and spends him on around. And you can see the iRacing pace car didn't even get a chance to come to a complete stop.
He knew it was coming. We talk about the Laker news. Our good friend Pat had a situation this past week. So just letting you know, Pat, we're thinking of you over here on the Rock and hoping that you're staying healthy.
Hey, man, he was still working hard. He was taking questions and asking questions during today's COVID press conference in Nova Scotia. So even though he is trying to get on the med, he's still doing hard work for the Fall River area. And hoping all the best for him in 2022 is, wow, we may have another big pile up there. We have a big pile up there in turn 1.
They are still on the green, but Tim is going to pull that caution. 2 cautions. We have not seen a complete lap. This one's a doozy. I told you it was going to be a nasty.
Yeah.
A little steel cage racing here at Stafford Motor Speedway.
Wrestling.
One of the terms they like using in the stands. And, well, I like it because I'm a wrestling fan too. But here's a restart. And we get it down to turn number 1. And then we stack them up. Everybody.
And the winner is?
The winner is still Kenny
Bob
McKenzie
Hutchings.
out front. Everybody. Yep. 78 getting Big shot there. Mike Hopkins getting up on two wheels, grabs it, backs up, and drives away. Everybody able to pull away. A lot of damaged race cars, though, here in this Consi. It's going to be a doozy to find out who's making this feature here tonight.
Well, listen here. What are we doing on the time?
Doing here on the time, 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to end at this one.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, we haven't even seen a lap yet.
So Kenny Jr., Craig Kenny, and Mark Williams, they're the three guys who are hoping this continues to be under caution. They're comfortable right now. They're going to make this race, but for Todd Tufts and Bob Hutchings and Uhouse and 4th, 5th, and 6th, they're on the outside looking in. And Rational Richard in 7th, he was taken out in that first wreck. As we start to double up here,
it's going to be a lot of pissed off drivers in the stands eating hot dogs tonight.
You're telling me there's never pissed off drivers at race day?
Well, especially if you don't make the big show and you never log to one lap. But here we go. We got a car coming around here.
Oh!
Wow. Did you just see that?
Yeah.
Just made it in time out in front of the pace car as we get set to go green flag. Wowzer. I think they just pulled him.
No, he's in front of the field. Or maybe,
Wow.
no, that was Kenny Jr. Maybe a little bit of a glitch there as we have bigger wreck and bigger problems further back. We are still green flag racing.
Caution!
Bob Hutchings moves to 3rd now as Kenny got dumped completely like a sack of potatoes. We're all still spinning and everything in the back.
I like potatoes.
Me too. Yeah, if you're in jail.
Oof. So they're going to give him... No, they got to give him a lap. Well, I'm not in charge. So I'm just the guy.
So, Kenny Jr.
Will they give him one lap?
I don't know.
Will it be green, white, checkered? This is all new.
No.
No checker flag.
Heel referee Tim Terry calling calling it a race. But Kenny Jr., you know what? And that was a race for survival. Kenny Jr., Mark Williams, and Newfoundland's own Bob Hutchings are moving on to the big show, the 40-minute time attack race later on.
Have you ever seen a race being won without one lap log?
Vidane TV.
You just did.
All right.
Okay. Moving on. Last chance for romance. The final heat race here.
The final.
The final before we go into the main event here tonight. TCM special event, number 2 of the season, I believe. So we are going to get set to go here. Look at that. Brandon Campbell going to get the pole here with Justin Collison in the outside of row number 1.
Justin Robichaux, Tony Wright starting in row number 2. Wade Craswell, Corey Casagrande, 5th and 6th. Jason Halverson, Tim Green starting 7th and 8th. Tyler Hallahan, Danny Bitch in the number 10 slot. Terry Duguay and Johnny Murphy will be starting at the back end of this field, it looks like.
Now,
No, hold on a minute. We got a little glitch here. I
where's
messed up,
Kyle
sorry.
Young?
Yeah, no. They're all there. Sorry, the little thingy was messing up here.
Oh,
now we
go.
see the rest of the field. So that includes Kyle Young, Kerry Ayers, Keith Lord, Cole Butcher, Nick Mott, and John Murphy there. John gets extra love.
Yeah, huge lineup in this one here. They really need to log some laps here for Cole Butcher and Kyle Young as they find themselves closer to the back in that 15th, 16th position. A lot of room to make up here. We did not see one lap, so those guys that started to the rear of the field in that Consi just lucked out. But here we go, and the 9-9, Brandon Campbell will get things going to start things off. He's going to have Collison on the outside. It's going to be a doozy. 5 minutes going to be on the board. It is what? Time attack.
Time attack!
Time attack!
Well, I don't know if Collison got the right time there because he didn't time that start very well. Brandon Campbell shot out of a cannon to start this race. We're green flag racing for the Consi for the time attack event. Brandon Campbell, Collison, and Robichaux, your top three right now, right. He's on the outside looking in, and by God, we are going to complete a lap here. It's a miracle in this race, but again, 5 minutes, and this is leading up to the 40-minute feature coming up here. And, different strategy, as we were talking with Tim a little earlier, and I asked, why a timed race? And he said, to mix it up. Why not? It's iRacing. We got drivers from different walks of life all here, including champions in the Pro Stock Tour, Bando drivers, legend drivers, a little bit of everything here. Brandon Campbell, he was in a Honda Civic that tried to start. His car's looking pretty good, though, but now he's got the number 112 of Collison getting right in his rear mirror, appearing a bit bigger, with Robichaux right in tow. Here comes the move from Collison. Brandon Campbell's going to open the door and let him get side by side. Again, top three. We'll move on to the big race here shortly.
Tony Wright trying to get things going, but about 2 seconds off the pace here. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can catch up to that pack. Top three, like you said. Campbell and Robichaux in the top three, making it to the big show if things finish right now. But still plenty to go here as we get close to the halfway mark. Lots of time here. We're finally logging some laps here as they get things going here. 5 laps completed here in that 5-minute mix.
Yeah, it's pretty nice to actually get a few laps in here.
Well, we haven't seen that in a while, so. But several drivers out of this one. Kyle Young's out of this one. Butcher, Mott, Murphy, Dross, all exiting now on this one. It's going to be a 13-car field fighting for this one here.
And there comes the move from Collison. He'll snag the lead from Brandon Campbell. Now, Brandon still in second, so he's still in one of those transfer positions. And really the top three, they're in their own area code at the moment. Sans any cautions coming out, or heaven forbid, maybe one of them get off the corner a little weird and hit the wall and potentially take all of them out. We'll see here as Brandon Campbell falls back a position to second at the moment.
Well, that's just it. I know these guys are going to be pretty upset because they've got a huge monster gap build up on Tony Wright. About 2.5 seconds now in between the field here for our top three. But there's some close quarter racing going on into the back of the field. Duguay and Vitch going at it. A couple of tenths between each other here. But pretty much single file now as they continue on here with the clicker ticking down here in the time attack. Can't say 2 minutes to go here, Dylan.
It's so crazy, just the differences in the racing where we had basically a smashed potatoes race there for that last Conti, but this one has been pretty calm as Collison and Campbell and Robichaux have been pacing this field the entire time. Now, Corey Casagrande has moved up to P4, but he is about 3 seconds behind in that number 18 when he's coming out of turn 2. They're well into turn 3, so he's hoping for something to happen between those top three, or there's a late race caution. But the problem is with the time attack, to bunch everyone up with about a minute 30 left to go, I just don't think it's going to be enough time.
Well, that's just it. Casagrande and these guys really need someone at the rear of the field to kind of mess things up and wad things up to get a restart here. But without a restart, it looks like Collison, Campbell, and Robichaux are going to go to the big show. 60 seconds on the clock as it ticks off here. Your top three looking pretty decent here. Collison looking pretty sharp, about 0.3 of a second on our leader from earlier on, the 99 of Campbell.
Yeah, and Robichaux. And we got a timer. There we go, fans. So now you can see the timer with us, and we're not having to bug Paul all the time here. So about 30 seconds left to go. I was just going to mention that Robichaux has drifted away from the battle for first and second. I think he knows that, you know what? I'm in the transfer spot. There's no point trying to go for first or second. I'm going to stay here. I'm thinking big picture with 19 seconds left to go. Basically 2 laps at this rate. Casagrande again in the 7 car on the ticker, 18 on the screen. He'll be coming up a little short here. Sans a miracle coming up as Collison starts to really spread apart here from Brandon Campbell. 1 to go.
White rag, white silk, flying and whacking in the air as we get Collison coming around 1, 2 down the backstretch into 3 and 4. He's going to control this one with Brandon Campbell making it to the big show. That's one of the fan favorites here tonight. All those Campbell fans, let us know out on Facebook. Way to go, Brandon. But it's going to be Robichaud completing the top 3, and the rest of the field going to head to the grandstand, watch some wicked iRacing here tonight, drink some potato vodka and some beer and some hot dogs here tonight. But some very upset drivers for sure. Some big favorites. I was hoping to see something out of that Kyle Young here tonight. Haven't seen him in a while.
We'll have to go yank him up here. He still announces racing, right?
Yeah, pull him in. I just, he had such a huge year moving down to North Carolina. Big shout out to Kyle and chasing all those races, and I'm sure he's behind the mic somewhere down there at all those racetracks. So that'd be great to catch up with him.
Well, he'll have to get a pulled pork sandwich here or a hot dog from the virtual canteen at Stafford Motor Speedway as the TCM Time Attack main event is coming up here, brothers and sisters watching all across the world on Vidane TV and Tim's Corner Motorsports, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you choose to watch. And this is going to be a real fun one. A lot of Americans mixed in here, a lot of guys who race at Stafford or race in the New England area or maybe just frequent this track, and mixed in with a bunch of hosers up from Canada. This is going to be a fun one, Mike.
Hosers?
Hosers.
That's a term I haven't heard in a long time, but this is going to shape into an awesome conclusion here tonight for the TCM special event. We've seen some Eastbound eSports earlier on, some wild heat races, and an even crazier Consi, the number 1. No official laps on that Consi. Our top 3 making it to the big show, but 22 making it, and here is your lineup. Sitting on the pole here, Ryan Libby from New England, part of the NEP series. He'll line up Noel Fougere in the 36.
Matt Barkhouse winning one of the heat races earlier. He'll start 3rd. Josh Langell from the Valley. He'll be starting 4th.
And in row number 3, Mike Rhino, Matthew Barkhouse's teammate. He'll line up with Carson Nagy in the 51.
All-American row here for Jason Ricker and Thomas Axum, 7th and 8th.
Kenny Gibby as well from the United States will line up with Dave Cassidy in the 13.
Zane Farrell and Chris Roma, 11th and 12th as we get ready here for the TCM Time Attack event. And in 13th, we have Brandon Marhefka and Craig Tully.
And Nick Pachier will line up with Devin Marhefka. We have 2 Brandon Marhefkas? How is that even possible?
Devin and Brandon.
Oh my God.
2 of them.
Two Marhefkas.
2 of them. Kenny McKenzie Jr., 17th, and Justin Collison barely squeezing in there with the last chance for romance win along with Kenny Jr., Mark Williams, Brandon Campbell, Bob Hutchings, and Justin Robichaud make up the final row here, last but not least, in the TCM Time Attack event.
Double Maravka. I almost had to go grab another beer because a little confused there. Apologize to the boys.
Maravka, I hardly knew her.
Man, I was wondering why there were so many Maravka. I was like, how did that guy get in the same heat twice?
Maybe it's 2 computers. Gonna be a little hard to do this race, though.
I was like, he's cheating.
He's cheating.
Anyways, quite a few Americans diced in here, part of the Vidane TV, the NEP series, and so on. So this could be a doozy. We got a bit of a field, almost like a NAFTA agreement going on here. So let's see who comes out on top. Hopefully the Canadians take home the gold here tonight, but we'll find out. This is going to be a doozy. So let me get this straight. We're going to put a time on this one as well?
Yeah.
40 minutes. But the clock says 37:47. You need to reset that. 40 minutes going to be on the clock. So this is a new one for me. Hopefully we log some laps on this one within the 40 minutes. But pace car has exited, Dylan. We are getting set to go. It's going to be Ryan Libby with the hammer to get things going here. 40 minutes on the clock.
Time for the time attack. Green flag in the air for Ryan Libby and Noel Fougere. 22 competitors out of a near 50-car starting lineup as we go into turn 3 and 4. No, we're already wrecking big time. Big flips. And this is going to eat up some time on the clock.
I want in-car camera.
I'm going to be rude about it.
I want in-car camera.
Big bada boom here on lap number 1, keeping the trend alive here. The cars all over the front stretch here at Stafford Motor Speedway and into turn number 1. We're going to take a peek here from the blimp and see what went down. You can see, looks like the 4 gets into the back of the 13, and the 87 in the back of the 4, and then everybody into the back of the 4 as well. Tully gets a piece of it. Collison gets a piece of it as well. There's Roma, the 87, the 77 of Hutchings. The other 4 car, lots of drivers pointing in the wrong direction on this one here on lap number 1.
360s.
See if we can get a little in-car video here. This will be from Kenny Kibbe, the number 4 car, and you can see there really is... we get them stacked up there. There's a little bit of contact. There's the other contact. Tries to get it squared away, and then cars everywhere.
Tried to save it.
Tried to save it, but big bada boom here on lap number 1.
Imagine seeing that wreck in real life.
I seen it at New Smyrna, man, on the front stretch, 3/4 of the field at I think it was 2015. One of the drivers from Newfoundland, Josh Collins, was down there in the 56, but that was the year Harrison Burton and I think who was representing the Irish? Have to come to me in a second, but they really put on a show that year. But 3/4 of the field stacked up there on that final race. It was incredible.
Yeah, I remember my first time ever at Riverside back in 2018. First crack of the green flag during the feature, and the field stacked up, and about 3/4 of the field either had big damage or had a couple of scratches after that one. Pretty wild ride there in 2018. And early on here in the TCM Time Attack event, we are under a caution, and look at this right here, Mike. We're already 2 minutes and 30 seconds cut in, and we haven't even completed a lap yet. So keep that in mind, folks, if you're watching at home. We're not going with a lap counter. We're going with the old time clock here, the old stopwatch.
I remember now, it was Ty Majeski and Harrison Burton, man. What a show they put on that week in 2015. Natalie Decker was there as well. I believe Christopher Bell was there. So pretty incredible drivers involved with the New Smyrna annual Speed Weeks. If you haven't been there, you gotta. It's like the holy grail of racing. You need to head to Speedway in Florida. But we are off to go. Off to go. 36 minutes on the board. Let's do this.
New shirt, off to go.
Off to go.
So we'll see if we can get a few laps in, although I'm seeing a few cars already washing up in there in turn 3 and 4. 3 wide in turn 3, and we'll see if we can actually settle down here a little bit. The tough thing is with the 3 wide racing at Stafford is we can see a couple cars playing a little bumper tag there coming at the turn 2, including Kenny Jr. trying to weasel his way through the field after winning one of the Conti races. He basically had a Sunday drive there in his Conti race where they didn't get one full lap in. But it's Ryan Libby and Noel Fougier leading early on with Matt Barkhouse and Langell. Josh Langell and a spinner in turn 2. We're still green flag racing. You know, sometimes those drivers, they wait miraculously for the yellow to come up before they hit the gas. But there, race control told him, hey, keep going. By the way, Tim Terry is doing a behind-the-scenes Twitch of this. So if you want to see what old Timmy's up to, you can check that out and see him yelling at all the drivers I know.
Tim Terry yelling? Come on.
I've seen him yell. A couple daiquiris in him, but he yelled.
7/10 gap on our top 3, trying to get it done here, the 18 of Landjaw. But Barkhouse, Noel Fougier, and Ryan Libby put on a bit of a show out in front, top 3. And then you got another pack of 4 there. That's Landjaw and Ryan Ricker trying to get it done.
You got to remember, Mike, this is all now for guts and glory. This is not just for finishing 3rd and 4th. You want to go for the big win, as we can see the 4-car Pache there putting some big pressure on Kenny Jr. back up in front. We see Matt Barkhouse and Noel Fougier gunning for the 2nd position. I mentioned a few times Noel's the anthem singer at Riverside Speedway, so to see him, a guy who does not race in real life, contends so well with Matt Barkhouse, who has a number of good runs at Scotia Speed World in the lighting division. I think the roar on the streets, I don't know if it was, I imagine COVID had something to do with it, but I thought he was in Ghost Sportsman Racing, I heard, roar on the street. But yeah, you never know with 2022 coming up here. Ryan Libby, one of the Americans, mixing the field, as we can see the
onboard view, the driver's perspective. And, it's so cool with iRacing, the graphics and the simulation with this. I know some people might say, it's just a video game. And, yeah, you could say that. But the way some guys have made it through the field in racing, like a William Byron, who started on iRacing, and look at him now, he's got a number of NASCAR wins.
100% Tommy Jeske, another big driver coming from the sim, and he was actually sponsored by iRacing earlier on in 2015, like I was talking about earlier with Speed Weeks, and he's done fabulous in his career, done a lot of truck racing, Xfinity. Yet to see him in Cup, but it'd be nice to see Jeske make the move there. Barkhouse, like you talked about earlier, exciting to see him go to the Sportsman. Like the skill level that I see with the 15 week in and week out at these TCM special events, it'd be pretty wild to see him in a pro style.
Yeah, I know. There's so many guys and girls who maybe just for money or whatever reason just have never had the opportunity to go in those big rides. And but here in iRacing, it's kind of the big equalizer where everyone can hop on, you buy the cars, you get the setups, if it's a fixed setup, whatever, open setup, all good. But it kind of brings everyone together, and that's why I really like iRacing. And it kind of keeps the skill sharp during the winter months. For us as announcers, Mike, it kind of keeps us sharp. But for these drivers, it keeps them real sharp and get them ready for May time here in the Maritimes in Atlantic, Canada. The thing with the States, they're racing pretty much every month of the year, basically. So here in Canada, not so much, unfortunately.
Similar to a lot of athlete programs in Canada, such as baseball, these cats down in the southeast, really have a good chance to do something with it. But iRacing has really changed that storyboard. I don't know if you've tried the virtual reality and actually got behind a wheel, but this is so real and so close to the real thing. It's absolutely incredible. I had a big adjustment. I only tried it out for a day, but you really got to put the time in to be as good as these drivers. These drivers that have made the top 22 here tonight, I can tell you they have logged a lot of hours behind the wheel, and absolutely incredible to see how many Canadians are involved with this now, and now throwing down some big runs down in the U.S. I believe the Coca-Cola Series won by a Halifax native just this past year in 2021, really showing big form what's going on here in Atlantic Canada.
Yeah, that was Keegan Leahy driving for 2311 Motorsports. Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin's team, a guy from Halifax, winning over 100 grand American. So cool, and hopefully we see a guy like
Jordans.
I hope Michael sent him a whole wardrobe of stuff. Pretty cool though. For a Haligonian, Nova Scotian, tangling with the big boys in iRacing and having great success here as we're coming up to the 30-minute mark in the TCM Time Attack event here. I want to thank you all for watching on Tim's Corner Motorsports and Vidane TV. Dylan Langell and Mike James back together again for the first time in 22. Hard to believe, Mike, we started doing this stuff back in 2020. 2 years on, we're still having some fun here.
Yet to see in person, but we'll hopefully one day get there, and I believe there is going to be an opportunity in 2022 that we're going to have to do a pilgrimage to Newfoundland and get you guys down to Eastbound, call the show, and really pull out the red carpet for the team, and hopefully get one on the big screen so that fans from all over the United States and Canada can tune into one of our streams. But this one's clicking off. About 10 minutes completed in this one. It's all Ryan Libby right now, the 46 controlling this right from the beginning. Noel Fougere did a great job. So top three right now, Barkhouse, Fougere, and Libby throwing down some wicked fast laps here. And then your next group, it's Langell, Nagy, as well as Ricker and Marhefka. Now following about a full second behind that group. So, starting to separate here. We got a top two there for that P4. And this one here, plenty of time. You see some contact earlier on. That's a little bit too early to be throwing around some paint here in this one. This is going to be a doozy here as we log off some time here. A little bit different than what we're used to. This time attack thing. Now let's see if this sticks to the wall. But really interesting so far here tonight for the TCM special event.
Hey, you know what? It mixes it up on a Monday night here. Not as many TCM iRacing events here this year, so you really want to get in on them. And the next big one coming up this Sunday with the Jim Hallahan 333, and you can keep tabs on
Tim's Corner Motorsports on Facebook for more details on that. Looking forward to being a part of that again, to honor our good friend Jim Hallahan, who passed away back in 2020. We certainly miss him, and wish all the best to his family. And his grandson Tyler Hallahan was trying to go here for entering this time attack race. Came up a little short. You know, you talk about all these cars, Mike, and virtually looking good. We were talking with the TCM live show when we were announcing all the TCM awards and best looking car, and we were saying, like, you got to snap photos of your car at the beginning of the year, because you know there's going to be some donuts by week 2 with your machine, no matter what you're driving.
I'll talk about one driver in particular, Phil Fowler. He owns a body shop here in Newfoundland, Labrador. Always has a slick looking race car. He's one of the drivers that will actually tear down his car halfway and repaint that thing. But, you know, not very many drivers are brave enough to paint. Now, a lot of fellas will go with a bit of paint and vinyl, but Fowler puts down a full body paint job and really does a great job. Another one that really has a slick looking, Gary Elliott, always looks great.
Oh, yeah.
The Iron Man. Great Quaker State ride that he runs, and he got to come to Eastbound several years ago and got to meet him. But he has some Newfoundland roots down here as well. He actually has some family. I don't know if you know the band The Fables.
Yep.
Heave
Away.
Heave Away and St. John's. He has some connections there with the boys. So he's a bit of a musician himself. So big shout out to him. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Throwing down some wicked looking cars. But one driver who's not here tonight that I'm a little bit disappointed not to see here in the new year is Mike Alexander. He is one of the drivers that really puts a lot of time in the iRacing paint and does a lot of these cars, making them look sharp here in the sim.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see Mikey on Sunday. The lone race I announced in the winter, before Christmas time, I believe Mike was either he won that race or was up in front. It was so long ago. Man, I've been off so much. It's like a kid at Christmas time, basically. I've been off and, eating a lot of sugary foods, and my body's completely wrecked, but we're back in the gym tomorrow. I swear.
Sound like a woman.
Yeah, well, I got a fiance now I got to look good for or something like that.
Well, I hope you didn't take offense, but when you put up that ring finger, I was like nice fingers, Dylan.
But I got a pedicure. I've had 2 pedicures, and they said, hey, you want a little nail polish? And I said, screw it, why not throw some on there? I think I had like Midnight Sky was like one of the colors I had years ago. But manscaping. So no, I didn't have nail polish on the hands this time. Not this Christmas, at least. But we're chiseling away here. 26 minutes left to go. And so far, it's been the Ryan Libby show. Although we got a car slow. I think it might be Pache slow on the apron. So this may bring out a caution. We'll see here.
Is that what
we're still green. That's Roma, Chris Roma down pit road. You can also hit a button which basically throws you right to pit road if there's an issue. So you got to keep in mind, you can have a blown engine, and with the simulators, you can have different issues. Also, Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, is a little bit of pitch strategy coming into play here.
It's definitely a possibility here. We talked earlier on in the Eastbound race, Joe Chisholm bringing up, tires may definitely be an issue, and we've seen a lot of green flag racing here, and one of the things with Stafford Motor Speedway is it really chews up the back or the rear tires, because when you come out of those corners, you're really loose in the back end, and we've seen a lot of drivers struggle with that in turn 4 there. So I think tires might be coming into the back of some of these drivers' minds here.
40 minutes, man. They're going to log a lot of laps here. We haven't seen, I don't think, any cautions. I believe on lap number 1 we did.
We've been trucking along pretty good here. We had the wreck on the first lap, and ever since we've been rocking and rolling as we have Ryan Libby, Noel Fougier, and Matt Barkhouse, the top 3. And Matt Barkhouse is really starting to light that wick on the back end of the 36 car. Coming up, 25 minutes left to go in the time attack.
Dylan, 42, going on 42 laps here now as Libby crosses over here. 42 laps completed here under green flag. These guys, we talked about the skill level here in the TCM special events. These guys are really putting on a show here tonight. A lot of clean racing here. A little bit of scrub skis there at the beginning to sort things out here. But once they started into the groups, a lot of respect on the track as we see Matthew Barkhouse now on the back bumper of the 36 of Fougier. trying to pick up a spot here, but doing it as a gentleman. Right now, top 3, our leader, Ryan Libby, got a couple of car lengths now on Fougere.
Yeah, and those are guys who are really clean racers, and you have to keep in mind, folks, the incident points with iRacing. If you hit a quarter panel, you bump into someone, it adds up, and I don't know the cap offhand here, but usually it's in the 30s to 40s, but it can add up. And now we have a caution. Kenny McKenzie Jr. facing the wrong way in turn 2 in front of the leaders, and that will slow things down here, eat up a little bit of time on the clock, and we'll see if anyone takes advantage of the caution to maybe go to pit road and make some adjustments, or do you hold your position?
44 laps, man. I'd take some tires. But we're going to see Paul. Showtime Strickland, you've been pretty quiet here tonight.
Yeah, having an opportunity to sit back, watch a little bit of racing here.
Remain quiet.
He's quiet.
Clap on.
Clap on, clap off, live technology. Everybody coming down pit road, it looks like.
He's got the clap.
Except for Ryan Libby staying out on track, pulling up the 85 car, the incident that brought out the caution flag here. And you can see a little side-by-side action. And there's a little bit of a scrub ski between the 42 and the 85. And hard contact with that outside wall. Little tiny bit of a skosh. But 3 drivers now at this point staying out on the racetrack. Looks like Ryan Libby, Justin Collison, and Bob Hutchings going to be the top 3 drivers.
Whoa.
Look at that race off pit road.
That was insane. Pache is just getting mauled right now. Getting abused.
Tattered and torn. 22 drivers started this race, and we're going to see a little bit of a shake-up here with 22 minutes left to go. A lot of drivers taking advantage of this caution nearly halfway through the 40-minute time attack, but Ryan Libby looks like they're going to stay on the track and take the gamble.
Well, 4 cars, I believe, down some laps here. Justin Rojo down 3 laps, Chris Roman down 5, Carson Nagy down 6, Craig Tully down 7. Roma and Tully now exiting the server. Nick Pache out of this one here. Not sure if he has timed out or tagged out or whatever you want to call it. Nick Pache. Great guy. Oh, no, he's back. Maybe I helped him out.
Maybe.
Well, Tully's back as well, so here we go. Maybe some server issues there with the internet. Big snowstorm coming tomorrow, Dylan.
Really? We're not getting it here in Nova Scotia.
We're going skidoo.
Oh. I want to go skiing so bad, but I don't know what the mountain. Well, they're not mountains here in Nova Scotia. Hills.
So I'll give you a funny story, Dylan.
Sure.
So everything that's snowmobile in Newfoundland, it's called a skidoo. For some reason, I don't know if that's like that in the Maritimes.
Yeah, I hear it, yeah.
I was involved with the Winter X Games, freestyle snowcross, snowmobile guys, and we were doing a tour across the United States and Canada. And I ended up going to Minnesota to meet with Arctic Cat, and I actually dropped the bomb skidoo in the conference in Minnesota with Arctic Cat. So, hence, we did not get sponsored by Arctic Cat.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, Kleenex, tissue,
I'll never forget the guy. You say what? Here we go. Green flag. Libby going to control this one here, the 46. Bob Hutchins now making it up to the top 4. Sorting out as we see a car going to the infield. Oh, slide job. What a save from the 22. That is Devin Verhefka. What a slide job save.
I thought that was going to be way bigger than it was, but it looks like we are still green flag racing at Stafford. 20 minutes, and we're halfway through this race.
Halfway cross flags, and we have another car coming around here as they sort things out. That's Craig Tully to the rear there, part of the RBR team. Green flag. There is the cross flags. 20 minutes now, taking it down. Here, part of the TCM Time Attack. Beautiful day, afternoon here at Stafford. Track conditions very welcoming here for our drivers. Have logged quite a bit as more cars get tangly up there in the middle. as they sort things out.
Tangly.
Calamity.
They're getting a little tangly here, so you can see the top 10. You can see the top 10 flowing through, all trying to scramble for position. Nick Pache sitting in 11th right now. Brandon Marhefka in 12th. Noel Fugier 13th. Mark Williams 14th. John Gahan 15th. Dave Cassidy 15th. And Corey Casagrande in 16th. And after that, I think it's a couple of guys who may be a lap down or close to. But it's a big scramble in front. And now Barkhouse looking a little underneath the back end of Libby.
This is going to be an interesting night here. 56 laps completed here. Just over halfway. You know, realistically, we're going to go in cruise control here for a little bit here. But the next 17 minutes, I got a funny feeling we're going to see a different storyboard here because things have already changed here at the halfway mark. Thomas Axum now enters the picture at 113. Josh Langell finds himself in the top 5. Jason Ricker now enters the picture, as well as Devin Marefka and Justin Colston. So,
oh wow! Look out! We're going 3 wide. We're going 3 wide. Oh my gosh!
It never works out. 4 wide. Still on the green.
What the hell was that?
That's that's going to be the leader parked there in turns 1 and 2, and we're going to have to take a peek because I glanced away from the monitor for a brief second. And all of a sudden, Libby was.
That was one. I didn't see which one, but that was a driver going pretty much in the infield trying to dunk underneath there.
The Brandon Campbell move.
Yeah, that's definitely what that was. I want to see what number. It's a 13 car.
Cassidy.
Dave Cassidy. And we'll pull this up. We'll give it to you live. We'll take a couple of looks at it here.
Axel Rose.
And there you can see 2 wide. Barkhouse gets the lead at the stripe. The 13 really diving down in there and
pinched him.
Yeah, that was a gnarly attempt there halfway through this one.
Kind of pinched him there to the bottom. Barkhouse on Axum, and Axum just coming right back up and giving him a, how do you say it? Give him a root.
Give him the old how you doing.
Feel bad for Libby though, man. Libby gets the worst of it, and I mean he wasn't really in, but just kind of that domino effect.
It dominated the first 22 minutes of this one, so Libby probably pretty pissed right now. Some choice words.
Yeah, sometimes with racing you can hear the scanners, and sometimes broadcasters will bring it on. We probably should not bring it on here. We may get kicked off Facebook.
Well, we've never gotten kicked off for stuff I say, so.
Touche.
Well, let's see what happens here. Caution. Any takers on pit road. Libby's on pit road. Roma and Tully down several laps here. Tully trying to correct some of the damage from earlier on, but new shakeup on the front row. Matthew Barkhouse will have Josh Langell to the front row as they go single file here. Could be some decision making as they have not doubled up yet. They're going to double up here as Langell will go to the outside here. As now we'll see Jason Ricker and Mike Rhino line up in row number 2. Devin Marhefka and Kenny Kibbe, 2 Americans, going to go at it in row number 3. Rachel Richard Drake, we haven't talked about him a lot. Look at that, like huge jump, because he came in from all the way from the back from those consies. Now find himself in a top 10 position.
Big shakeup at the start of the field, so Barkhouse and Josh Langell on the front row. Now again, Barkhouse is the leader. There's the hammer. We're back Green Flag Racing. 15 and a half left to go in the TCM Time Attack. And I think we're going to be going right back to caution. I think yeah. No? Yeah.
Oh, I got Rational Richard on my timing, but not on the main screen.
He just wants to be part of the show.
What's on to go with the 141?
What's up with that?
Good question. I don't even see the 141 in the field, so I'm not entirely sure what's up. Not sure which timing it's scoring you're looking at.
Really bad.
Is that maybe that's what
the reason we haven't talked about him all night.
Maybe that's why his position in line at the hot dog stand.
I don't know.
Well, we'll take a peek here. Caution's reading.
Timing.
There you go. Caution's reading caution here at Stafford for the Tim's Corner Motorsports Time Attack. There you can see the 13 jumping on down, making contact again with the other 13 car, this time with the monster car, the 42 involved as well. There's Bob Hutchings getting a little piece of the action, totally coming in, hitting the binders and missing all the calamity up in front of him. And well, we get ready to stack them up once again. Less than 20 minutes, closer to 15, less than 15 minutes to go here in the feature.
Wow, I just got a message from Pat. He's watching the race with a Dairy Queen cake.
What?
Save us a slice there, bro.
Yeah, mail it down.
So, I don't know about sharing cake under the current conditions of COVID, but hope you're feeling better. He says he's doing great day by day and taking in the race at home with some nice ice cream cake.
Yummy.
Cake. I love cake.
We got racing. I mean, maybe the winner will get an ice cream cake to celebrate.
Oh, got another update from Patrick Healy. He's getting loaded on Big 8 water.
Good call. You gotta have some water with the cake.
Being harassed.
13 minutes left to go in the TCM Time Attack. 40 minutes. Typically you have like the how many miles or how many laps are in the race, like with the IWK 250 or this and that. I guess we're gonna unofficially call it the TCM Time Attack 40 minutes, or the TCM Time Attack.
No,
Time Attack.
Well, I forgot to add, is that Canadian minutes or American minutes?
Bonjour. Green back in the air, and good start from Matt Barkhouse with 12:49 on the clock remaining. We'll see a cautions breed cautions coming down the backstretch there with Mike Rhino sliding in front of the field, and one car gets careened into the top of the wall there. And that will throw, it looks like Justin Collison back a few positions as we go mostly single file up in front. But Matthew Barkhouse, he will snag the lead here on this restart.
One driver in particular that looks super wicked fast, the 36 and 0 Fougere, trying to get to the front. Started off this one pretty solid as he tries to get it done. Now we got two 13s there. That is the 113 of Axum there as well. So Dave Cassidy also in the mix as well. So it's showing 13 on the side of the car, but 113 is Thomas Axum. He's
Coming
from
up
Stafford.
Yeah. He's at Stafford. They're all at Stafford.
They're all
virtually.
from Stafford.
Even Bob Hutchings.
There you go. Legend of the dirt here as we continue on. There's a lot of 13s.
There is. What's pretty cool, Mike? When we did our TCM Christmas show and Bob was on there, learning about the history of him making that dirt track, Thunder Valley, and then paving it and selling it, and how he still races there, and and then how he's into the iRacing here. It's pretty cool to hear a different racing story.
Yeah, he's got a lot of history. Good friends of Pat Squires, the owner of Eastbound and Thunder Valley currently. The boys got big history. Asphalt started here in the 60s, kind of disappeared. Dirt tracking became popular, and then thanks to guys like Bob Hutchings and Patty Squires and these guys brought asphalt to where it is today on the rocks. So we're seeing an awesome last 8 years, all these bandoleros and so many different driver developments coming up, and Nick Codner, one of those drivers that we've seen earlier on, taking a win in the Eastbound and eSports, and seeing so much rise here. So it's going to be wild to see what happens in 2022. I've heard some big stories that we're probably going to have a big field of sportsmen over here this year.
Nice.
20 plus in the field.
Wow.
In our NASCAR Division 1.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was kind of rough the last couple of years of COVID, but seeing a lot of these young guys, these bandoleros coming out of nowhere. This year we had 7 new drivers that are coming up.
Very cool, and like I mentioned at the top of the show, we're all getting excited for the summer coming up here, the spring and summer. Racing in the Maritimes usually gets kicked off in the middle of May now, so usually Speedway Miramichi always seems to be the track that usually kicks things off there. So pretty excited, and I'm kind of thinking, like, am I going to do another demo race? I know my buddy Daniel Adio kind of threw out. Well,
Well, my buddy Daniel Adio says he's got a spare car, which he's going to make an all-star car. And he did throw out I could get behind the wheel potentially.
I've been thinking about calling a race in a hobby stock.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been thinking about it, and I used to race years ago out of Detroit, and it's been on my mind. But I think it would be pretty cool to do in-car commentary in a hobby stock.
What'd you race in Detroit?
We're part of the FSA's SCCA series, little Formula 600 series. I raced for 4 years down there.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's still.
How come you didn't go to F1?
I went monster trucking instead. A lot more money in monster trucks.
Yeah, fair.
Anyways, we're having a peek now at Axel taking a shot here to the inside, trying to come up through, holding on to that P5. Devin Marevka, we talked about him earlier now, 12 spots since the beginning of this one. We're just over 30 minutes into this one, 31 and 15. If you're just tuning in, I'm Mike James from Newfoundland. From the Rock with Dylan Langile. I was about to call you Rational, Dylan, but Ravishing Dylan.
Ooh.
And our good friend Showtime, Paul Strickland. First time for me, a TCM Time Attack. 40 minutes was on the board. Just over 31 minutes completed here. It's all Matthew Barkhouse to 15. Josh Langile within striking distance, just over 0.3 of a second behind Barkhouse. Rhino and Marhefka going at it there, and Axel all within the 10th of a second there for that P3.
Yes, less than 10 minutes to go here in the TCM Time Attack here on a Monday, the first big event of 2022 with TCM, and a lot of fun calling it with you again, Mike and Paul, and looking forward to a handful of events. But there's Bob Hutchings, and Brandon Campbell slows up, and this will chew up a few minutes on the clock as we have a late race caution.
Tires, 82 laps completed, Paul. Is this where we see that final tire pit?
100%. We're definitely going to see at least a couple of drivers come down. Here's the incident between Dave Cassidy and the 13 Monster Machine and Bob Hutchins in the 77. Take a look at the outside line there, outside of that white double dash line or that white dash line. Lots of rubber buildup, lots of little balls of rubber that are coming off of the back, are coming off of the tops of these tires of each of these race cars. So these guys definitely abusing the equipment here. Lots of green flag racing. I think with less than 8 laps or 8 minutes to go here in the TCM Time Attack, we're going to see at least half a dozen or so drivers come down pit road.
Campbell's going to be a taker. Mark Williams, Justin Collison's in. Kenny Kibbe going to grab some tires here. Will the rest of the field come? We're seeing more now coming. Mark Williams, Brandon Campbell, Nick Pachier, Chris Roma on pit road. So a little bit of activity here on the 5th caution. But our leaders opted not to take here as the clock continues to tick down here. Now about 6.5 seconds going to go on this one, Dylan.
Yeah, we'll see how many seconds are left here, how many minutes and seconds are left once we restart. Matt Barkhouse taking the gamble here, staying out. Josh Langell second, Mike Rhino third, Axum fourth, and Marhefka, the number 22 car, will be restarting 5th here, and that is the driver. Trying to figure out which one is my thing. Devin Marhefka will be starting 5th. I was waiting for my scoring here to update on my cellular device, as they call it.
Cellular. Craig Tully, one of the takers on that one as well, repairing some of that early event damage that he took in the first parts of this one. We're getting close to that 5-minute mark. 5 minutes of romance going to be coming up. This is where this time attack. Did you save your equipment? Did you really get in that mid-pack madness there at the early parts? Do you have something here? 40 minutes on the clock is a pretty decent race. 86 laps. Stafford, Paul, I believe, is a half-mile. Beautiful racetrack here. But like you said, a little bit flat and tearing up some tire. You see all those rubber balls gathering up. So even here in the sim racing, it gets down to the nitty-gritty of those tires.
So here we go, Mikey. Basically 5 minutes left to go.
Ooh, look at that.
Who's going to come out on top? If you got a cold one or if you got a DQ ice cream cake, get a slice and crack her open. 5 minutes left to go. Green in the air.
I like a Fougere on this one, but let's see what happens.
Matt Barkhouse did not have a good start. I don't know what was going on. We're throwing the caution. I think maybe Josh may have jumped the restart a little bit there.
looking at, I don't know if Paul could put that back up on the screen there, but I believe Fougier's only got a couple laps on those tires, but Fougier looks sharp on that restart there. There it is. No.
Yeah, Fougier having 28 laps on his tires compared to everybody else up front, 42. And you can see Brandon Campbell just came down pit road. He's up 14 spots. He's going to be restarting here in P6. And we'll see if we can pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay here. Take a look at that restart, and I think it may very well have been race official Tim Terry calling it for a jumped restart, but we'll take a peek here, see if maybe we missed something here. Which is a possibility because, it's only live TV. And as the cars come parading 2 by 2 out of turn number 4, you can see we're missing somebody on the outside of row number 1 there. And Barkhouse just didn't go. So that may very well have been the issue for the caution. Not entirely sure. We'll have to double check on that later on with Tim. Less than 5 minutes to go here. A couple of drivers have fresh tires. Fougier looks good. Brandon Campbell back up towards the front in P6. He's got about 3 laps on his tires, so that's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, Campbell went the distance, 84 laps on those tires. The only one in the field to go the full distance on that one set of tires. So in a great track position of P6, I kind of liking his odds. You never know what Campbell will have for us here tonight. He is half Newfoundlander after all. Maybe I should be putting my money on Campbell in the 99.
There's some money.
Tell me a backstory. Give me a Campbell story.
Well,
He's famous.
He didn't even have a start really in 2021. But though he did have a good run doing demo racing at Speedway Miramichi. I will give him that. He was like 2 turns away from winning a Dash for Cash race. But this is going to be the Dash for Cash here as Axum and Fougier are on the front row. I don't know what happened to Matt Bark. I still don't fully know why we had another caution there. But we will press on here, and it will be a real dash to the finish.
Big shake-up here with, wow, we are getting close to that 2-minute mark. Barkhouse has moved back into the second row here. Thomas Axum going to get the start here. No Fougier to the outside. Let's see what happens here. Lights out on the pace car. Got to be a wild one. Compton in 2 minutes. If you're just joining us, over 40 or just 40 minutes, we're on the clock. Once we get to that 2-minute mark, I believe, Paul, will they have one to go after the 2 minutes?
As soon as we get, it's usually about 30 seconds to go is when we get the white flag. So we probably got about a handful of laps here. And these guys know that business is picking up. Brandon Campbell in that 99 car already up to 4th on the restart, getting around Barkhouse. Barkhouse sliding on that outside up in the rubber balls. And Brandon Campbell setting his sight on a podium finish. It's still Thomas Axum up front, though.
Oh, Lord. If he gets on the podium here, we're never going to hear it. We're never going to... Barkhouse clams into the wall there, and he's falling back, and he was a driver who was dominating the back end of this race, and I think the tires are just gone in that 15 as he is at a snail's pace there. Minute 13, basically a minute 10 left to go. It's Axum in front of Noel Fougier, Mike Rhino, and Brandon Campbell, and there's the caution, and this may effectively end the race here.
That is entirely a possibility. 60 seconds left to go on the clock. We'll pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay, take a little peeks real quick, and see what brought out the caution one more game.
Sound like you're from Alabama.
Every once in a while. It's the alcoholism. Little 3-wide action. We saw that. Barkhouse slow on the top side. There's the 85 and the 5. Making a little bit of contact there. Tully up into the outside wall. Hitting that right in that metal guardrail outside of turn number 2 there. That's a hard hit. I've seen that numerous times in real life at Stafford Motor Speedway. But 20 seconds on the clock. Boys, I think we might have ourselves an unofficial winner in the 13 of Thomas Axum.
We'll see what Tim has for us. Maybe Tim will jump in with us as we count down that timer. See if that checkered official flag or unofficial will fly here. 2 seconds here.
And the flag man's not throwing anything right now. So the timer's at 0.
Could we have a green-white checkered here?
It looks like we might be having ourselves a green-white checkered, yeah. Lights are off in the pace car. And
loves the green-white checkered.
this is going to get interesting.
Loves me some green-white checkered, Dylan.
Oh boy, I mean, what an opportunity now for Noel Fugier, Brandon Campbell, Mike Rhino, thinking, it's all done. Like a bucket
of chicken. KFC, buddy. Here we go. Who you got your money on? Here we go. Put your money
I'm
on
just
the
waiting
table.
here. I'm waiting here because the pace car's not off yet, so I'm wondering if they're...
Oh, they're going to give us a green-white checkered. All the fans at home want that green-white checkered. We want to shake this one down. No!
Nope,
We got
that's
checkers. Thomas
checkered.
Axum has.
Yeah.
Was been given the checkered. I guess the time attack is official. 40 minutes completed. Thomas Axum takes this one home. No Fugier, a.k.a. the Bubbles Man, 36, following himself in P2. Mike Rhino, 34, is your top three. I wanted myself a green, white checkered.
Wow. What an ending.
Well, he's going to burn it down. Thomas Axum, I think, is a little bit of surprise, taking the big checkered here tonight for the TCM Time Attack. First one for me. What are your thoughts? I kind of dig it. I kind of like it. A lot of strategy there at pit road.
Yeah, I dug it. I mean, maybe some people have the same feelings. I kind of wish we maybe did a green-white checkered there, but again, it is a time attack race, and then it would kind of go against what the whole time attack strategy is, but it's just something new to me. But hey, for Thomas Axum, you're in the right place at the right time, and a late race caution with a minute to go, it basically hands you the win there. And like Tim said, it's a different strategy that you have to go through. But Thomas Axum from the States, big winner.
And you got to give it to Tim. You're there. You probably had to stick to what you said at the beginning, but we got Tim in the booth. Tim, what's going on, bro? Why didn't we see that green-white checkered?
Because it hit the time limit and it would not allow us to get a checkered flag finish in or a green-white checker finish in. It would have been literally a 500-foot dash to the end. We're not going to do that. Thomas Axum is the winner. We'll discuss stuff later on. Talk to Thomas.
There you go, Dylan. You got your race winner. Thomas Axum, your official winner.
10-4. Tommy, do you got us, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, congrats on the big time attack win. A little different here tonight. No lap count, more of the stopwatch. How is it racing on here with all the drivers and getting the big win tonight?
It wasn't bad. Just had to feel it out. We had a really great run at the beginning and got to see what the car had. And I knew I was going to be a force to be reckoned with in the long runs. Just got comfortable. And when the tires got older, I got faster. And I knew it was going to be good on the long runs. Just at the end there, just tempers flare. And even I jumped the gun there. 16 minutes left isn't a long time, but I guess I could have backed it up and waited one more lap. But not like that. We're all racers. We're all winners. We want it all when we can get it. And sometimes you bite off more than you can chew. But we drove from the back, came up cleanly, and were able to win it.
Yeah, take us back to that move there, Thomas. You were going underneath going into turn one. It was almost like Matt, the 15 car, tried pinching you a little bit and just kind of ran out of real estate, eh?
Yeah, exactly what happened. And just I was so focused on looking to my right, completely forgot where I was on the racetrack. And by the time I was on my brakes, it was too late. So we took a ride to the back and were able to pony our way back up.
We were saying in the booth, with the last caution coming out with a minute to go, was it a giant sigh of relief on your end, thinking, okay, this is great, it's going to be a caution to wrap this up?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely felt good because it could have been fireworks. Glad we got to end it respectfully there. And just some nights are better than others, and tonight just wasn't one of them nights. We had a great run at the beginning. Just at the end, it just didn't end off how everyone wanted to. But it was at the end of the day, it was a great race. We just needed to spread out there. Once we spread out, it was good racing. But we're all tight like that. It's hard to be respectful.
For sure, man. Who do you want to thank for the big win? And what does Thomas Axum do with real racing, or are you just an iRacer?
Oh, just a sim racer. Just love this. Just love this stuff. Never had the chance to race for a live car. Just had some spotting experience. Shout out to Tim Terry for putting the stress on himself for putting all this on. He don't need to do that. He doesn't need to do that, but he does. You guys putting on the broadcast. Love going back and watching these things. just all the guys who are involved with this. Just Tim and every sponsor he gets, and then my sponsors, Bernier's Liquor, Studio 10s. Shout out to Jason Ricker. He was in here. He was up the front at the end there. Just ran out of luck there at the end. But Ricker, teammate, and just the RKM sponsor.
Now, there's a big race coming up on Sunday, the Jim Hallahan 333. Are we going to see you there?
I seen that. I don't own that car yet, but it's in the works. We're thinking about it.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations getting the big win for the Time Attack tonight.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good night. Thank you, Tim.
No problem. That's Thomas Axon, big winner. And we'll see if we're able to wrangle in second and third. And here's your good buddy, Mike Bubbles.
I love little Noel Fougere. Fougere, you got a copy?
I do, Mike. How's it going, man?
Oh, man, Happy New Year, bro. I know you were hoping not to see that under caution. Take us through your event. Is this your first Time Attack?
Yes, I think this is my first Time Attack. It's a cool format. I like the time thing and having cautions kind of not affect how long the race is. Or I guess it does affect how long the race is because time keeps ticking even though cautions come out. But my race was kind of up and down. I was up in second for the first little bit, and then on that pit stop, I took 4, and I think 5 cars in front of me took 2. So I was mid-pack, and then got caught up in a little bit of a scuffle, I guess you could say. I don't know really what happened, but tangly, yeah, we'll put it that way. And then I was kind of in the back, trying to fight my way back, and then just through the mess and the restart antics that happened there, managed to find myself back in P2. I don't think I had anything for Thomas. He's always super fast, so I'm happy finishing second, although I really would like to win one of these super late model things. I don't think I've ever won a super late model TCM event, so we're coming. But
yeah, for sure. You're getting close, bud, man. I don't know how many races I've called and seen you have a hot car. Fast car here tonight. You look wicked fast on some of those restarts.
Yeah, thanks. I just actually upgraded to triples a few weeks ago. That was my Christmas present, so definitely helps with the restarts, giving a little bit of extra view, see what's going on around me. So that's definitely really cool. This is my first TCM race with them. So it's pretty cool. I got triple 27-inch monitors, so that's certainly pretty cool.
Well, hopefully, maybe in the next couple of years, we'll see in the virtual reality world as that continues to progress in the iRacing series. But Noel, man, congrats for a big podium finish. I know it means a lot to you. You had a wicked fast car here tonight, and I know there's some people that get it done for you. Who do you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, man, for sure. I know my grandma's watching back at her place. I know things are kind of, certainly in Nova Scotia, things are just getting kind of, things are blowing up a little bit, so I appreciate, her watching, and I appreciate Tim putting this series together. I know he unfortunately was catching a little bit of flack from some people in this event who were not too pleased with how the ruling was done, but I'm sure everyone will sit down and take some input and work on things, and we'll get ready for the Hallahan 333 on Sunday. And of course, I got to thank you guys at Vidane for putting on these broadcasts. It's super cool to get these broadcasts out there, and hopefully next time I'm talking to you, it'll be from first place and not second.
100%, and we believe definitely for sure. Take us out, Bubbles.
All right, Mike. Well, listen, I appreciate you broadcasting the race there, and everybody make sure to tune in next Sunday for a little bit of a motor show at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Jim Hallahan 333.
I love it. Little Bubbles from Noel Fougere,
Green
folks.
bastard, parts unknown.
Dylan, the 36, man. Awesome. Always here to see him in a podium. But congrats from all of us, Noel.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it, guys.
Noel, are you singing the anthems again this year at Riverside?
That's the plan.
Woo! Perfect.
So I hope we'll see you then.
I'll be there.
Absolutely. Sounds good, buddy.
All right, man. Well, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on Sunday virtually.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys then.
Right arm, it's Noel.
Wreckers.
Checkers or wreckers. Noel Fougere is going to be gunning for the Jim Hallahan 333 coming up. And Tim, that's the next big thing coming up later this week.
Yeah, it is. Vidane's busy this week. Obviously, it was good to see the Neps guys here. Thank you to Corey Casagrande and their crew. I know Corey didn't make the feature and a couple of others that didn't make it. Mike Hopkins, I think, came back with a destroyed race car again. Paul, I know we've been talking about that, but he's not racing tomorrow night because he is already locked into their Oxford 250. So the Oxford 250 qualifier tomorrow. Wednesday is going to be a doubleheader for Vidane. We got the Loose Lugs series. But Dylan, are you excited to talk to Wayne Smith on Wednesday?
I am. The Oval Outlaw, him and his wife are down in Florida working on their tans, and it's going to be so cool to chat with Wayne. I mean, what hasn't that guy done with racing? So it's going to be very cool. You don't want to miss it. An open book for the Oval Outlaw, Wayne Smith, coming up Wednesday, 8 p.m. with TCM Live, and very much looking forward to that, Tim.
Yeah, and then on Thursday, the NEP Series is back. I believe they're at Las Vegas on Thursday nights. That should be a good show. And then on Sunday, the Jim Hallahan 333. Sign-ups are still open. Head over to timscorner.ca/Jim Hallahan 333 and get signed up. Just need an idea on numbers. I think we're at 38 or 39 for the race on Sunday. That's going to do it. Big thank you to Mike James and the folks from Eastbound Park, the Hanlon Realty 75. Great show earlier tonight, and then the Time Attack here this evening. There's some things we need to work on, I think, but we'll on the race control side, but we will address those and get ready for Sunday. So that's going to do it. Thank you to Paul Strickland Jr., Dylan Langell, Joe Chisholm, the entire crew, Mike James. My name is Tim Terry. We will see you on a Sunday when we say let's go racing. Until then, keep the hammer down. We'll see you at the track.
And we'll be drinking